All right, everybody, we're back. The Wolfpack has returned for an 8th straight time. It's like we're coordinated and we know what we're doing. We're committed to yelling at you kids about laserdiscs. It's the LaserDisc Wolfpack THX CAV Special Limited Edition podcast. This time we're getting a little comedic. And the funniest dude I know in town, who's like, I don't know, Bill Murray, John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, and Jim Belushi rolled into one. Not John, though. Just Jim. Ryan Cushing.
Wow. So not John?
Sorry, yeah.
You might as well just call me Ringo or something. I'm Ryan Cushing. Thanks again for putting this together and, doing what we're doing. And I guess I'm going to pass it to Luke to introduce himself. He's on my left here.
Hello. Hello. Yes, my name is Luke. First time on the podcast. Very excited. I'm currently in Japan. I guess I'm here to talk about Japanese laserdiscs. But I've sold to a lot of people. I've been around for a long time, but I've never really talked to anybody. Usually only chatting. This is actually the first time my voice has ever been out there, which I feel really weird about. But yeah, I'm great to be here.
World premiere.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And of course we have our boy Vinny Criterion Onorati over there.
Hey guys. Hey Luke, I expected Luke to have an OB sash that you just wear around the house. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Well, hello. The OB is actually the Japanese word for it's for the fancy costume, where it's the sash around. It's called an OB.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's where it comes from.
Very good.
Whatever that is called.
I want to see triangle OB, like sharp 80s style, shoulders.
We're planning Maxene's Halloween costume. She just
that would
doesn't
be
realize
amazing.
I'm doing it. I'm going to have the OBs right here.
Hell yeah.
I have a Pioneer, I have a Pioneer LaserDisc kimono, and the sash that goes with that says Pioneer on it. So, is that close to an
That's
OB?
legit.
I'm excited to talk about 80s comedies because I'm the only one old enough to have lived through it and seen them all at the same time. Well, I was in the John Hughes movie, and then I saw the John Hughes movie as they were happening.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Send it over to California and Maxeene.
Yes, we've been having a triple-digit heat here, and so I was not able to wear one of my fabulous Pioneer shirts because it was far too hot for heavy material cotton from the 90s. So
Fair enough.
Got the ET pin, repping LaserDisc still everywhere I can. So I'll send it off to Trevor.
Hey, this is Trevor making his return. We had a little dispute with my payoff from the last couple of them, so we finally got that straightened out, and I figured I'd make a comeback. So I'm going to send it back on over to Sam, get this thing started.
Yeah, hopefully your bonus, I set it up with the direct deposit and everything. Hopefully you got that in your account okay. So
yeah, I like folding money.
Yeah, we're gonna double your pay from here on out too. So just cause.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Anyways, yes. So we are back here. Then we're gonna do some comedy a little bit, but we do have our special guest Luke. So we figured we'd bother him about his experiences shopping for LaserDisc in Japan in particular. And yeah, you've been part of the scene when I joined LaserDisc forever. I'm pretty sure you were there already. So as far as I've been involved in the internet LaserDisc scene, you've been around. So you've been around the block a few times. Can you tell us a little bit about your collecting and history with the format?
Sure, I'd love to. So, like I said, I am currently in Japan. I am active duty Navy, so that's why I'm here. I've been here for about 3 years now, but before this, I was in Denver in the Navy, which is weird, but that's where they sent me. And, but I got into, when I was a kid, my brother got into LaserDisc a lot, and he was just dabbling. I mean, he just bought some Criterions and that's it. And I always thought it was cool. And then some guy at work in Denver just said, hey, I've got this player. I've got these discs. You can have them for $100. I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And that just started it all. And I just kept collecting. And then I might have picked orders to Japan just so I could get more Japanese. I mean, it's true. And so I packed everything up. And in Denver, I said, I'm not bringing anything. Like I put all my stuff in storage and I just started over. And actually, I take that back. I took a few, like one little case of just this I had to have, and that'll come up later. But so I came to Japan, and it was hard to find them at first, but then I just go. So I go to hard offs. That's what I do. I just go out there. I take the trains, and I might be out there all day, just hitting every hard off I can in my area. I've gone, I don't know, like all day, like just all day out there. My wife hates it, I know, but it gets me out there. It gets me out in Japan. I see things that are, I see Japan, and I'm just buying discs. So talk about hard off. Hard off is like a thrift store that it deals only in electronics. There's different, and it's amazing. Like it is exactly what you think it is. Every video games, players, it's what you want a thrift store to be. It's incredible. And there's maybe 5 that are really close to me, and I keep going back, and they keep getting new stuff. It's not like a one-time thing where they just happen to get some. Japanese guys just keep bringing them. They're just this and this and this, and it's kind of incredible since they haven't made them in 20 years. They're still coming in. But so you go in and you got hard offs. You've got mode off, you've got house off, you've got liquor off. These are all different kind of thrift stores
Nice.
they have.
Is the liquor off used, or is it all new?
That comes up all the time. I've never actually been to liquor off. They're pretty scarce, but I would assume they are, new bottles that people just didn't have in their house and they want to get rid of. So go find a hard off. And you go in and you look around for the records, and then you kind of sniff them out. You can smell them when you get in there, and they're just racks and racks of LaserDiscs. It's crazy. But still, you flip through them all, and you get a stack of maybe 10 or 20 that you really want. And I'm gonna miss it. Like I really am. I've collected so much, and I've got so much, and I don't want a lot of LaserDiscs. I don't want all the LaserDiscs in the world. I just want the ones that I want. But so I find them, and then I sell them. I've gotten to the point where I know what people want, which kind of gets into when I start looking. I look not just for me, but for other people as well, which kind of gets to me sometime. Like, I want this hobby to be for me. But then I'm like, oh, well, I know I can sell this. I know I can do this. I'm like, I don't really want to be that guy. But I still do it. I still find stuff, and so yeah, it's been an experience, and I've really enjoyed it, and I'm going to miss it. That's it. I mean, any questions about?
And yeah, seems to be this idea that you just roll into Shibuya and there's just LaserDiscs everywhere. And like you mentioned, you got to travel a lot for this stuff and take trains, and so you got to be somewhat dedicated to the craft of hunting these.
Hours and hours on a train.
Yep.
And it's really hard offs, and really sometimes you do walk around, and I look around at houses. I'm like, there's a LaserDisc around here. I know it. I just got to find them.
Yep.
But yeah.
So do people drive around a lot, or do they take the train mostly?
Train, like I know one of my friends is married to a Japanese female, and she says, "Oh, she's never driven. Like she's lived in Japan her whole life, and people take the train. Like it's very driving in Japan is pretty scary because they don't believe in overpasses. So if you make a mistake, you are screwed. You
just keep driving."
Yeah, and we did it early on. We have a car, and then we just made a mistake, and it took us like hours to get back. It was terrible.
Wow.
But even riding the train was very complicated at first because they have different lines, express lines and this, and they break off into other places, and one will take you here and one will take you there. You really have to know what you're doing. And it took us maybe half a year to really get the hang of it. When I say we, I mean me and my wife, to really know what we're doing with taking the train.
How much are you bringing back with you?
All of this over here.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm still trying to sell. But I feel pretty good about I've gotten rid of the ones that I don't really want. So yeah, I would say 500. I came with nothing,
Wow.
and now I'm coming back with about 500.
In 3 years.
And you got some hardware too?
Yeah, I'm not really a hardware guy. Like, Vinny talked about my Sony player this morning. I just, whatever works, man. Like if I plug it in and it plays, I'm good with that. But yeah, I do have.
Are those staying or are those coming with you?
They're all coming with me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Were you ever tempted in a hard off to sort of pick up another hobby? Like, did you look around and say, wow, look at all these, I don't know, comic books or something, if it's full of all that stuff?
I've gotten into video games a little bit, even though I don't play video games, like older Nintendo games and the Famicom games. I've gotten into those. I just started picking them up. Dreamcast, I bought a Dreamcast player. I've always wanted one of those, but I really don't play video games. So it's kind of silly for me to have.
So do you pick up a lot of tapes and such too?
Oh yeah, I'm big into VHS too now. They're not as prevalent as the LaserDiscs are. But one thing that Japanese VHS has is different colors of tapes. So I've got guys who really want these different color tapes, and so I start to find those, and they spool swap them out and make them look cool. And so yeah, I found some cool stuff. A lot of clear tapes. I got some right here. These like clear tapes are really, really big.
Sweet.
Anyway, we're not talking about tapes, but yeah. Yeah, it's being in the military, and you think about. So I lived in Atlanta for 30 years before I joined the military, and you always think about, Japan is like this magical place and this and that, or wherever. It's just you live the same wherever you are. You experience life the same wherever you are. It's just another place, people doing their thing. The culture's different. The culture's really cool, but it's still just like anywhere else, if that makes sense. I'm getting deep like Sam over here.
What's the coolest thing you found, LaserDisc wise?
We'll go into. I got them over here. LaserDisc wise, I've got some. I'll show you later.
Cool.
But yeah, like I found the Ghibli. Okay, one cool thing, like within arm's reach here. I found the Ghibli box over here. I'll note it lit in the cardboard.
Sure.
White.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy right here.
Nice.
Wow.
Ghibli box, and I found it really close to the Ghibli Museum because there's this really cool Ghibli museum up around Tokyo, and there's this hard off, and I went by it, and there it was. I was like, this is so cool, and it was super cheap. I don't like to talk about price, but it was pretty cheap. Just stuff like that, and it's kind of all over the place. When I go shopping, I try to keep an open mind. I'm like, I'm just gonna find whatever finds me, and I know the commons by now. I know when I first went out there, it was oh wow, this speed is fucking great. Wow, it's so cool. But then it's like, okay, I know the Japanese commons now that I see all the time. So now I'm just looking for interesting things I don't usually see, which I'll bring up in a little bit.
Yeah. I remember when you first went over there, two of my grails were that big Twin Peaks box and the Charlie Chaplin box, and you found them fairly quickly.
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
I found a lot of Twin Peaks boxes.
Yeah.
And that was like, I had goals when I first came over here. Like, I want to find a Twin Peaks box. I want to find, I don't know, the Dune box. These are things that I had to find, and I found them. Like, I found everything that I was looking for, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's this residual concept about those boxes here in the States. Like, when I saw them in the 90s, those Peaks boxes were hundreds of dollars, and now everybody still kind of got that. Ooh, even the Dune box was at least $100, and you can get those boxes at reasonable prices now if you're buying from an auction site or if you're stationed in Japan.
Right.
People love overpaying though.
That's the crazy thing. It's just, and people in Japan really like to keep their stuff in pristine conditions. Like, I go out there and I find all these old video game systems that are still in the box from like 1982 or something. It's crazy. So Obi's are, Obi strips are intact a lot of the times. I would say like 75% of the time. Yeah. They're still there. And just thinking of that, it's just crazy that they are still there and still got the stickers on. Everything is good. I don't know.
It helps having those oversized bags that they would come in instead of like, they still have some shrink wrap, but over here, everything was shrink wrapped. So you lose all the hype stickers and everything unless you purposely save them. But it's just so easy to slit open the top of a Japanese disc and just keep it in that nice, thick sleeve. Oh, what's he got?
Let's see. Give me a second.
All right.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, you go to pick up a lot of U.S. commons, and it's a crapshoot if they're going to be even in decent usable shape. But I can't even think of a Japanese disc that I've gotten that hasn't been almost perfect.
Mm-hmm. Even U.S. discs that you get from Japan.
Right. I love buying U.S. discs from Japan just for that reason.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, and no one's bidding on them. It seems usually
nobody cares. Yeah,
they're like, oh, I don't want this U.S. garbage.
Yeah,
we're like, we can't find that here, and it's mint in Japan.
For like $2.
Absolutely.
It's amazing that you keep finding things in hard offs. They keep replenishing. Whereas here, if you get lucky one day at a Goodwill, you'll go years before you see another one in there.
Yeah, man, thrifting seems to be like a lot more fruitful in Japan.
Yeah,
I've seen maybe 2 in Goodwills over the years. I mean, I don't go on the regular like a lot of other people do, but yeah. And it wasn't anything good. I left them there in the racks.
They normally get destroyed too when they get to a Goodwill. People flipping through the records indefinitely, and then they just get destroyed while they're there. Yeah.
I've had better luck at flea markets and things like that, but even that's pretty hit or miss. Yeah.
So another thing about these hard offs is, it's not a thrift store like you back in the States. It's not dirty. Like, this is a clean store. The one great thing about hard offs, I've gotten to the point where I just sell them back. I buy them so cheap. I want to get rid of them. And these are commons that I get in lots or whatever. And the best thing about them is they take everything. They don't flip through and say, oh, I want this. I don't want this. They're like, yeah, we'll take them all. You got 78 discs. Here you go. Like, oh, this is great.
Did you ever find anything outside of hard offs? Is there like a Craigslist? Do people have yard sales, or is there anything like that?
So there's like thrift stores, dirtier thrift stores, but they're harder to find. And they're hit or miss. So, but hard offs are like, and I'm talking hard offs. There's going to be discs in there. So I kind of focus on those. I know a few thrift stores, and they have some stuff maybe, but hard offs have racks and racks. No real like yard sales. They don't do that around here.
Yeah.
I found some cool things here. I mean, this is one of the coolest things I found in a hard off. This is the Godzilla box.
Oh, nice.
I mean, this is shrink wrapped. I have not opened this yet. You got your Obi, you got everything, and you walk into a store and you look around, and I know it's just sitting there and you're like, oh my God, yes. It's like when you're flipping through discs and you see that good one and you're like, oh man, I know Ryan's talked about that, where your heart drops. Oh my God, it's there it is. This was a big one. Now, finding this Godzilla was pretty cool. Of course, I got this guy, which I've never watched, Cowboy Bebop, the Cowboy Bebop box set.
Wow.
That's gorgeous.
All Japanese. but it's just beautiful. Fun fact, I'm not a big anime guy at all, so that kind of, stifles my Japanese buying because there's so much anime out here. And I've really, really tried to get into anime, but I feel like, I don't know, if I didn't get into it when I was a kid, so I can't get into it as an adult. I've tried to watch Akira many times, and I just can't do it. What is going on? I thought this was a movie about motorcycle gangs. It's not. There's some guy named Canada in there. What is going on? So yeah, this is just a weird one that I found recently. It's just called Gun.
Nice.
It's just
nice.
That's Ryan dreams of those discs.
It's got a gun on the cover. It can't be bad.
What more do you want?
It's just, I was watching it this morning, and it's just about guns. It's like, it reminded me of Jackie Brown, where chicks with guns or whatever, but there's no chicks. So, yeah, it's exciting. As an American who's into LaserDisc, and people think I'm crazy. People at the store think I'm weird, or people I talk to are here, but I'm like, there's so much stuff. It's crazy. It's great. It's been a fun time. But I will be honest with you, I'm looking to relax a little bit because it's almost a full-time job. Going out there, finding them, come back, selling them, packing them up, getting them out the door. I sell them pretty cheap because I want to be this kind of seller that I want to buy from. So these things are really cheap, and I don't want to gouge these prices. But it's a full-time job, and I've already got a full-time job with the Navy. So I just want to relax and just spend my time watching, just enjoy watching these movies.
Do you load up on hardware at all too, or you just have one player? Or?
I have a few players. They're in storage here. Mm-hmm. My first one was the DVD / I'm not a hardware guy. Mm-hmm. The DVD / LaserDisc player, whatever the
DVLs.
Yeah. I had one of those, but what happens is they kind of just break, or just they aren't working the way I want to, and I move on. I'm like, okay, give me another one. Yeah. It's not hard to find one. It's not like America where they're so hard. Like, there are rows of these players, and they're junk. They say junk.
Yeah.
They say you can't bring it back. It's junk. So that's a crapshoot too. Mm-hmm. But in the store, you can test them. You hook it up to a TV to see if it works, and it's great. Like, the one I've got back here is just a burner phone. It's just one that I kind of just play back here, and it was $10. Like, it's just a powerhouse little player, and it's been great. That's the thing. Like, some of them are really expensive. Some of them are like junk, and if it works, cool. If not, whatever.
Move on.
So yeah. So I've got my Sony player up in the living room there, and then I've got this guy back here that I just test stuff with, and I've got, I would say, about 4 or 5 and back in storage here that are probably broken in some way, and I don't have the time to fix them, or I want to.
Can send them to Chicago. We'll fix them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. See, the other thing about living in Japan with LaserDisc and being in the military is that I don't know if I should talk about this, but I get military shipping. So
that's what I was asking about when I lost internet.
So it's just the same price as if I was in the States, which is kind of incredible. And I go there a lot, and I have one post office that's close to the house here, and I'm having the wife go and drop off 8 boxes today, and it's kind of been a struggle because they are like, I'm the media mail guy, and they're always in my shit. Like, it is a thing, I swear. Look it up. And I had one lady early on. She's like, you can't do this, and I had to drop a complaint, and it got fixed real quick. So in Japan, got all these LaserDiscs, and with the military shipping, so I'm hooking that's why I hook everybody up.
Could we send you our mail-in ballots, and then you ship them back here from Japan?
It'd probably be faster.
Yeah.
No, that's too much work.
Yeah, like You sent me a box, and it was in like the main post office in town this morning, and they sent it to the wrong sub post office today. They can't even get it right within my town, but like it got from Japan to Chicago in like 3 days. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculously fast. Yeah,
you can't beat that.
Yeah, back before all this started, I used to tell people, "Oh, it takes about 2 weeks," but then it was taking like a week. It was nothing. It was crazy. So what happens is the military takes it from here to like San Francisco, and then it gets dropped off in a regular mail. So the weird thing is when it's the opposite. When I'm getting stuff, and that's when I get stuff, I ask people to send it priority because media mail for whatever reason takes months to get to me. But the great thing is if I send to people, I can send it media mail and it gets to them for some reason super quick. So it's great.
Luke, can you tell the story? You mentioned once when you were out at sea, you had gotten some shipments out on a boat, right?
Yeah, from
How
you.
does that work?
Actually.
Yeah, how did that work? Was it a pain in the neck to get it there?
Yeah,
I feel like I've wasted our nation's military's time.
Yeah, it's called a RAS. It's called a replenishment at sea, and people say it's probably the craziest thing the military does. It's where you have a ship, our ship, and then it's the reason why we can stay at sea so long. So we get replenished at sea. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Another ship comes alongside, and we throw basically a line over, a rope or and we just start swinging stuff, swinging things over, mail, food, and we get fuel as well. It's kind of crazy, but that's why we can stay out so long. And yep, sure enough, I remember I gave out my address, and some guy named Vinny sent me out these LaserDiscs. And one day, usually you get mail on your rack; it's just kind of sitting there. And sure enough, there were these box of LaserDiscs from Vinny. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with these? Like, what? So I put them in my locker, and they just sat there until I got back, like months and months. So yeah.
But not like 150 days, right?
Okay, so all right, let's talk about that. So I've been gone a while. People notice I haven't been selling because I've been out to sea. I've been on the ship for 5 months now. We left in February. I'm gonna take my glasses off. We left in February, and we didn't come back because of COVID. We left in February. We thought it was going to be just we're going to go to Guam. We're going to come back and port. It's nothing. But then we stayed on the ship. It was called because everyone was not sick on the ship, so they wanted to keep it that way, and they didn't want to risk people going out, getting sick, bringing it back, because we live in very close quarters, and if anyone was sick, that shit was going to spread quick. So you kind of understand it, but then you hate it because you're on the ship. But yeah, we were on the ship for 5 months. We weren't underway. We weren't out to sea. We would come back to our port, and just be stuck on the pier. My family was 5 miles away, and I couldn't go and see them. My LaserDiscs were 5 miles away, and I couldn't see them. It sucked. My ship is still out. The only reason I got off was because I'm moving soon. We're PCSing, and so they let me off so I wouldn't miss my orders to move to my next duty station. My ship is still out there. I feel really bad for leaving them. It's almost like Lost. I got off the island, and I'm like, we need to go back.
We have to go back.
Got to get Hurley.
Yeah, that guy's a good guy. We need to help him.
Yeah. Crazy. You're one of the Oceanic Six.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, that's really it.
Cool.
Any other questions? I was going to talk this much. Yeah.
We'll probably bug you throughout too as we come up
Sure.
with things. If you're going to hang out with us the whole show. All right.
Luke, if you can, PM me about that gun disc.
You got it. I'll put it in your pile.
Can you get 2 of those gun discs?
one for each hand, John Woo style.
Yeah.
So we need 4 then.
and some doves.
Nice. So shall we do some comedies? What do you think?
Do it.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do a genre focus this week of 80s comedies. We were going to do comedies in particular, and then I think it was probably Ryan who usually comes up with the exciting like kind of limitations that makes us work a little harder. And he came up with 80s comedies in particular. So they don't have to be 80s discs. They could be 80s comedies that were released in the 90s, but they have to be 80s comedies. So that kind of made it a little tougher for me because a lot of my favorites I didn't end up picking up on LD just because they weren't letterboxed or they didn't have the right edition or whatever. But I'll rock my 5. Let's go for it. Number 5. This I got showed off in a couple weeks ago. It was a American disc I bought from Japan. History of the World Part 1. Mel Brooks. I caught this originally on cable years ago.
And it was on every day.
Yeah, I just totally fell in love with it. It was, subversive humor that I was able to kind of get away with watching at a fairly young age. I thought it was amazing. Still, have some of the quotes and songs stuck in my head to this very day. And I love there's a bit as a film critic guy. There's a great bit about film criticism in there, or just about critics, art criticism in general with cavemen. Yeah, it's a really nice disc, and it's manufactured Japan, and Fox put it out, and it's delightful. So that's number 5. Number 4, instead of the usual Dan Aykroyd Belushi action, instead of doing Blues Brothers, I went Neighbors, which is a very twisted black comedy from the early 80s. The last thing Belushi did before he died. And I saw this in the theaters and didn't quite know what to make of it at first, but I've since come to totally love it. This was an upgrade from my VHS copy. I bought this from Laser Craze in the used bins in the 90s up in Boston. And it's a craptastic old pressing, but I still love it. It's like, the role reversal. Belushi plays the straight man this time, and Aykroyd plays the kind of wild, out-of-control character. And it's very Fight Club-esque. It's like basically what if you lived out in the middle of a cul-de-sac in the suburbs, and Tyler Durden and Marla Singer moved next door, and the house next door to you was the Paper Street Soap Factory. It's kind of like that mixed in with a lot of other like wacky comedy stuff, and love it. So Neighbors. Just watched it again, so we might see more of that as this show progresses. Number 3 is instead of the usual John Hughes stuff, I went with a film that is kind of like a kindred spirit. 3 O'Clock High from director Phil Joannou, who should have been like a David Fincher. I mean, he was doing a lot of music videos, and he did the Rattle and Hum movie for U2 like right after this, but super stylish movie. Casey Siemaszko plays the kid who has to fight a bully at 3 o'clock at the end of the day because he's he touched him and he doesn't like being touched. And it's just a great High Noon spin-off, and it's one of those like films where your life changes over the course of one day. I love those kind of films. Neighbors is actually essentially like that too. It takes place in 24 hours, but I wish there was a letterbox copy, but this is the best I got on LaserDisc. Awesome Tangerine Dream music too. Good stuff. And number 2, I know everyone else is going to have it, but I had to get some Ghostbusters on. A little bit of horror, so it's a horror comedy, but it's mostly comedy. Though it does have one of the scariest damn scenes ever. There's a bit with Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson like just driving and talking about the end of the world, and it literally scared the shit out of me. That one scene is the special effects were fun and everything like that, but that one scene like freaked me out forever. But I just remember seeing this in the theater, and when the Stay Puft Marshmallow came on screen, I was like, holy crap, they can literally do anything your imagination can think of. And this was pre-CGI, but just in terms of special effects, and still holds up. I kind of wish they didn't put supplemental features at the end of each side. That's kind of lame, but some Ghostbusters love. And I lied. There's still Blues Brothers in the list. It's number 1. This is my first official R-rated movie. I had already seen it 2 times by the time I was allowed to go see it by my mom. My dad had taken me to see it. I saw this in the drive-in with a double feature of this and Animal House because that was being reissued too. This is like an integral part of my childhood, and just the music's also great too. I know there was talk about this being too much of a musical to be included, but it's also enough of a comedy that it's included. And this is the longer cut with some cool extra scenes and stuff in there. Definitely worth grabbing the signature collection indeed. So that's it. That's my number 1. Going to pass it on over to my man Ryan.
Sweet.
What if any?
Yeah, I don't know how we're doing this. We don't know what we're doing. Yeah, I don't think I have any duplicates of you, so that's good, right?
Yeah.
That means I had an extra just in case. So sorry, Revenge of the Nerds, you got bumped.
I think we're always like just overly paranoid about doubling up now, and it doesn't really happen.
Yeah, well, I had said that I wasn't going to do the Blues Brothers, and it was right at the top right away, and I'm like, I'll save it. We'll do musicals one day, and we'll never get to it, but I'm saving it for musicals. Yeah. So, all right, so I'm going to start off with some VHS Plus, and then from there we'll go into some nice reissues and everything else, and I'll try and operate the camera as well. I'll start it out with joysticks. Nice video game classic. Really appropriate for young adults as well. So you just can't go wrong with this. You got the guy trying to get rid of the arcade, and it's just got that classic 80s feel, and it's a real joy. And I think it's got a nice Blu-ray out now. So if you can't find the LaserDisc, which seems to be really rare, I'd say go for the Blu-ray. Gasp! I know. More VHS Plus, UHF. This one also would fit in the musical category, but this is just great. I grew up listening to Weird Al, and this is the one to find. But again, impossible. Like I don't get it, probably because it flopped or something. But who knows? Yeah,
I saw it in the theater. I did my job.
Thank you.
I paid like $6.
I probably wasn't old enough to see it in the theater. Moving on, Beetlejuice.
AC3?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sealed.
I know. I still haven't even opened the seal on this. I got this in a sweet collection with AC3 discs, and
nice.
This is amazing. Michael Keaton is fantastic, and you've got a great soundtrack as well, and it's just
that
a
almost
great
hit
movie.
my list.
Yeah, that one was an auto include. I'm like, I can't not talk about it. Number 2, I will never sell this unless you offer me $700.
I sold my pan and scan one because I was holding out for that.
$700, and then I'll start posting I need it again.
I think I'll just buy another pan and scan.
Ooh, there you go. But it's Caddyshack. This is just a phenomenal comedy, and everybody knows the song, and everybody knows what happens in the movie. And if it's on TV, I still will watch it on the random chance I'm watching TV. But
that's the best ending line of any movie. He says, "We're all going to get laid." Credits.
And then number 1, I'm gonna give it away.
All right.
Gotta rep some Corey Feldman.
I was wondering if that was comedy enough, but it is.
You gotta separate the drugs. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So I think it's comedy enough. I know it's kind of adventure too, and you could throw it in some other genres, but I watch it and I laugh because the dialogue is so well done, and
Truffle Shuffle.
Yeah, and you couldn't do that now. Like, if you did the Truffle Shuffle in a movie now, people would be upset. It's just classic. So, those are my top 5.
Sweet.
I guess I'll pass it to Luke, and we'll just kind of jump around because Sam made it all out of order. Thanks, Sam.
Yep.
No. All right. Let's see. So yeah, I had Blues Brothers. I had Ferris Bueller at first, but I was like, I'm going to dig a little deeper. So there's one cheap one in here, but here's some. These are only one is not Japanese. All right, so the first one is going to be Evil Dead 2.
I thought about that.
Yeah,
it is funny. Yeah,
this is a comedy. I love it. This disc is one that I found just flipping through the racks, and it's where my heart dropped when I found this.
Yeah.
This cover, come on, man! This is insane. It's like it has the fake skull with eyeballs in there, which is never in the movie. Whatever.
Yep.
But just so gory. I love it. All right, this next one is a stretch as well, but I think it's funny. This is maybe only Vinny will know about this one. Was Down by Law.
That was on my also ran. Yeah.
Really?
Amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was on my 10.
This was one of the discs that I loved so much I couldn't put in storage. I love this movie so much. It is so. Jarmusch is a great director. I love almost everything he does except for the new one, which was garbage, and Ghost Dog, which I'm not a fan of. But I think it's hilarious. I think Tom Waits is great. I think Lurie is great, and Roberto Benigni before
Amazing.
Life is Beautiful. He was great.
That's the one to get too, because the U.S. copies mine's got some speckling.
Why do I have that movie?
Because it's awesome.
Why do? It's great.
I don't know where I got it from. Like, I saw that. I'm like, I have that for some reason. No idea.
Let's see. Next one, my only American disc that I will be showing today is Bad Taste.
Nice.
I think it's hilarious. This movie I found in high school. It was played on IFC, and this was before Lord of the Rings. This was before. I mean, Frighteners probably just came out, but I was like, this is great. This is the movie that you want to make in high school, and Peter Jackson actually did it. It's amazing. And this cover, of course, has the two fingers instead of one, and it is just pasted on. Like you can feel it on there.
Wow.
That's a sticker.
Yeah.
I love it.
But this is offensive too, right? Like
in England.
Yeah. Anyway, Bad Taste. I love that movie. All right, this one I actually got from Maxeene very early on, and this is Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the Japanese.
Nice.
I loved this movie as a kid. I love this movie now. It's incredible. And just the cover art, everything about this release is just so great. Last one. This is my cheat because it actually came out in 1979, and I picked this before Vinny talked about it today. But this is Life of Brian. This is a Japanese pressing of Life of Brian, which is interesting because guess what? It's all in Japanese. It's dubbed. So it's useless. Yeah. So thing about Japanese releases, there's a lot of American movies that are made and they're mostly subtitled. And because it's cheaper to do subtitles, I would think. And so it's very rare that you get a straight on dubbed movie. No subtitles, no alternate tracks, anything. So yeah. Those are my 5 releases, 80s comedies.
Sick.
So I think we'll pass it off to Vinny now, and we'll kind of go back to our clockwise rotation-ish.
I have 6 here. I'm not going to.
You rule breaker.
Because I think everyone assumes I'm going to. I can't not. Literally, my favorite movie of all time is an 80s comedy, technically. Right. So it's the king of comedy. But you could file it under drama or comedy, so that's why I pulled it out.
Okay.
Sweet Japanese release, too.
Let's go. Christopher Guest made this film in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think it was 1989. Fantastic movie about making movies. Kevin Bacon plays a college film student who wins a contest and then tries to make it big in LA. And it has one of the greatest scene-stealing cameos ever by Martin Short.
Man, I haven't seen that in ages.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had to get the Coen brothers in here.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Arizona, widescreen. Just blew me away the first time I saw it.
I should have put that in
mine. Yeah.
That was number 7 for me.
Yeah, it was on the edge.
You know what I did? I immediately eliminated Rob Reiner and John Hughes because, I mean, Reiner, every movie's a classic, and then that was his sweet spot. So I didn't want to just fill up my list with Reiner and Hughes movies. So couldn't not have a black and white. My favorite Woody Allen movie, Black and White, is just a masterpiece. It's basically, Forrest Gump before Forrest Gump. It's incredible. There's really nothing else like it. It's a mockumentary about this guy who finds himself in all these various historical situations. The effects for that time were pretty wild. They're very simple, but he's just in all these situations with famous people. It's really cool. Very funny. I don't know what happened to him, Woody Allen.
I think he moved overseas.
Gotta have a Scorsese film in here anyway. This is After Hours.
Nice.
From 1985.
Is it signed by Griffin Dunn?
It is signed by the screenwriter, Joe Minion.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's another cheat because I'm just going to mention it, but Joe Minion's only other real hit is a film called Vampire's Kiss, which is also amazing. So just, After Hours, a movie that takes place in one 24-hour loop, and Griffin Dunn is in this sort of hellscape of what was then 1980 Soho, which you did not want to be caught in at night before it became basically an outdoor shopping mall.
But the most dangerous outdoor shopping mall.
Right. And of course, number 1, the first disc I ordered when I joined LDF, I got it from, it was before Luke moved to Japan. I got it from Kobos. And it is, of course, Midnight Run.
Where's the Obi?
I took it off just because I wanted to show you how great the inside is.
Oh, nice.
With the detailed map of their road trip across the country.
Oh,
just incredible.
That's cool.
I mean, a perfect example of the care, the Japanese took in their releases and the art. I mean, just blows it away. And I also just remembered 48 Hours, which I could have taken another one with great artwork.
Yeah.
But this is a movie I really do watch every year. I saw it 3 times the weekend it opened. It holds up so well. And it not only is it a fantastic comedy, but it's probably arguably the best of the buddy cop genre of that period as well. And at that time, at that time you never saw it. You didn't know De Niro was funny, really. That was sort of a new thing. And then that sort of allowed him to get into more comedies. But one of the best screen duos ever, Grodin and De Niro.
What the camera just missed was Trevor and Luke both showing 48 Hours for you.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh, nice, good.
Yeah.
The Japanese cover.
Yes, there we go. There
awesome.
we go. Yep.
It's the greatest. Yeah, that was one of the first discs I found as well. That's
awesome. Danny Elfman music in Midnight Run too.
So. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, just before he started, he got Batman and some other ones. So it's really cool. All right, Maxeene.
Cool. So I had put several aside because I was feeling like there might be crossover, and I had not determined my number 5 because I was wondering. So I'm gonna. This is a tough choice now. Okay.
No doubles yet, right?
No doubles for me. So okay, I'm going with Real Genius.
Ooh,
nice.
Excellent.
I have the I Heart Toxic Waste shirt, and I almost wore that today.
Oh wow!
Ended up not wearing it.
Nice.
I actually have 2.
Too.
I have a reprint of it, and we have the a real promotional I Heart Toxic Waste shirt that says Real Geniuses on it. So
nice.
So I'm a big fan of this one.
Yeah, it's awesome flick.
The popcorn,
yeah,
it's great. Okay, so the other ones I already had in order, so I'll pull those out. Okay. I don't want to tell anything about the plot because this literally should be a cult classic. Like in the same sense that Rocky Horror Picture Show is a cult classic. It was insanely ridiculous and like should be seen like in a theater. Like this had like all of the Rocky Horror concepts of like where you could yell back at the screen. Like this is an insanely like underrated film.
Who's in it? Anybody we know or?
I mean, I don't think anybody you would actually. Okay, there's weird cameos.
Okay.
From Red, from That 70s Show. He plays like a lawyer randomly in it, and I mean, pretty much you'll just kind of see people who are like, oh, I remember them from something, but they're all small, like smaller role type of people doing small roles in this. But the 2 like main actors, like I didn't really recognize. But this, the whole plot of this is ridiculous. And like, seek this out, find this, watch this. This is like one I highly, highly recommend this. And I went deep cuts here. I did try to go deep cuts. Because this really is my bread and butter of genres here. Oh, and obviously it is because it's 2 idiots in Hollywood. You do get to see driving around in Hollywood, which is always something I'm a huge fan of.
Excellent.
Okay, so this is 3. My number 3 is Sticky Fingers. This
Melanie Maron, huh?
It's Helen Slater.
Damn.
Which is Supergirl.
Yeah. And
so they are 2 musicians, kind of more classical style musicians. They are like best friends, and they're living in this like interesting apartment. And their like landlord is, oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on her name. Carol Kane.
Nice.
Is their landlord. And basically they can't afford the rent. They're like struggling musicians. And then they have this friend who shows up, and she like leaves in a hurry, and she's like, can you just like watch this piece of luggage for me? Like I'll be back for it like in a couple days. And inside is like a ton of money. And so they just start spending the money because they can't afford the rent. And they're like, well, she would want us to like keep the bag here. She's coming back for it. We have to like protect the apartment. And they just keep justifying more and more outrageous purchases. And it's like, I mean, it's great. And there's like weird, like people are trying to steal the money. I mean, it's a very like quirky comedy. Like it has great music. There's kind of some 80s pop music in it too, like in like the, you know, in between scenes and things like that. But just the aesthetics of it, the apartment, they buy a bunch of electronics and like she's trying to use the remote and she's like trying to show her like boyfriend how you plug all the things up. And it's really good. And I hardly ever see, like people will have this and they won't ever like say anything about it. They'll normally just get rid of it. So like keep this, watch this. Like it's really good. It's worth it.
Everyone's going to eBay right now.
Yeah, you just upped the price right there.
Yep. Wolfpack effect.
Yes. Okay. I think, okay, that was 3. So this is 2.
Fast food. Have I seen that?
Food. Tracy Lords.
Nice.
Jim Varney. And it's all about this, you know, very just classic comedy. Like they start like a burger stand and then they have like this secret sauce that's like science engineered and it makes people kind of get a little frisky. And so Jim Varney's trying to get the secret because he's the big Burger King guy in town and he's doing all these hilarious commercials and this is really fun. And then they send Tracy Lords in to kind of be the sexy kind of steal the sauce type of person who comes in and tries to infiltrate the other side of things, and she's on Jim Varney's side. And it's very fun, and it's definitely one I don't see very often, and it's great. I love Tracy too. So
nice.
And number 1, Better Off Dead.
That would have been on mine if I owned it.
Nice.
100%. One of my favorite. I mean, this checks almost every box for me.
Stone cold classic.
Yes,
Totally.
100%. And I feel like this kind of sometimes gets overshadowed unless you know kind of times. But like, I mean, the scene with the Van Halen and the Everybody Wants Some. I mean, it's legend. It's legend. The pure snow.
Curtis Armstrong,
snow.
Baby.
Like,
do you know what the street value of this mountain is? I think I just froze the left side of my brain.
There's a good old-fashioned ski off in.
Oh yeah.
The K-12,
There's
man.
a big
K-12.
bad guy who's the blonde guy with the pop collar. You know, the epitome of the 80s dirtball. Like, ugh, don't you steal my girlfriend? Like, ridiculous. So, yes, high quality, and I feel like this should easily be as talked about as 16 Candles and Breakfast Club and all of those. Because it's
Killer soundtrack, too.
Yeah.
Some good jams on there.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love this one so much. And I love John Cusack. And the driving scenes and with the guys in the
Howard Cosell.
Wait, puts on the driving gloves and
He wants to put his testicles all over me.
I love that one. Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, I've watched this a lot of times, and every time you just see something a little extra special in it, and it's just it's
Ricky great. And his mom. Oh, so great.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
The French fries, French dressing,
and to drink Peru.
The box, and then the green, and you like
the tentacle.
You should like raisins.
It's like moving around.
And it's crawling off the Oh God, it's so good. It's
excellent choice.
Thank you. Okay, I guess I'm passing that to Trevor.
Well, I actually think we're going to make it through this with nobody having any doubles.
You can do it.
I consulted with Ryan, and we avoided one earlier. But I'm going to go with Night Patrol.
Ooh,
damn.
Nice.
The official 80s cop comedy.
Yep.
It's better than Police Academy. It's got Linda Blair in it. It's more slapsticky, like Airplane. But it's got the Unknown Comic.
Yeah.
But, if you've never watched it, this is a good one to pick up. Good 80s comedy that apparently nobody else is going to pick but me. And then this is the closest I can get to a wrestler. We're going with DC CAV.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Mr. T, the CAV company. It's been a while since I watched it. I know there's one of the guys finds a violin that's worth a lot of money, which basically causes havoc of everybody trying to get the violin to get the reward. But I loved it as a kid. I love it now. It's got Mr. T in it, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, man.
If you make a WrestleMania appearance, you're a wrestler for life.
Oh, exactly. He's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's
the
right.
longest speech ever. He's still talking about his mama. Then gotta get both Corys in here.
Yes.
License to Drive.
Sick.
This is just another classic movie in my childhood. You know,
Yep.
God giveth and the
DMV taketh away.
That's their best film, right? Outside of Lost Boys, does everyone agree?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's my favorite
Yeah.
outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the best one. But it's just another movie I loved, and if you haven't seen this is, like I said, this is like an essential two Corys movie. Like I said, this and Lost Boys would probably be the tops, but you should watch them all.
Including the National Lampoon one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, last
Then
resort.
Yeah.
we're gonna go with Top Secret.
Nice.
I was hoping that
Nice.
would come up.
We got the widescreen one
I
here.
didn't even
We got
know
the
there was a
good one.
widescreen one.
Yeah, that's the one to
Yeah.
have.
Damn, I better go to eBay.
But
Too
if you
late
have
now.
eBay- But to me, this is another one of the, like I said, I think it says even right on there, made by the people who made Airplane, but it has just the classic jokes. You know what I mean?
It's got Kilmer's in that one too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer's in this one. He's was he a pilot?
Hmm.
But they're over in Germany. Listen, the cow's right on here.
Right.
The whole cow joke. Everything about this movie is hilarious.
Sam, there's only one copy on eBay.
Stuff. Yeah.
Bye.
I'll let you have it, Ryan.
I already have it. You're good.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think I told him to pick that one up a while ago.
He did.
And nobody bid this.
Ah,
I'm gonna do
nice.
Suckers, number one. Legit, if you go pound for pound, this has more laughs than any movie that was brought up today.
Yeah.
You got
great.
Fly Guy, Keenan Ivory Wayans. I mean, there's two ways to end this thing, and you can either go out the window or you can go down the stairs.
Yeah.
So,
Love it.
yeah, this is just another classic movie. Just made it, I believe it was like 89.
Yeah.
But
Good soundtrack, too.
this is a great movie. If you haven't seen this, this is definitely a watch. So I'm gonna send it on over to Sam. He can start
Nice.
up the next topic.
Nice picks.
That's great stuff.
Yeah. I almost bought a copy of Stripes at the last minute to hopefully get it here in time, but that didn't quite pan
So
out.
many that could have. We probably needed 10.
I thought
I
somebody
know.
would have had stripes, so I didn't even include it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
What happened?
Yeah, there
I
were several
actually-
I left off.
Yeah. You know, I'm not
I
one
had
of these.
four movies
I'm
sitting
not,
here, and not one of those four were picked.
yeah. I'm not one of these. They don't make them like they used to, guys, because I think they do make good movies. But they literally do not make comedies like they did in that decade. Because
Yeah, it's a different vibe.
Yeah, a lot of that talent's moved to TV, and
Yeah.
you had some great ones in the early part of the '90s. But just look at all those movies we held up there. I mean, they're all not only they're good, they're just complete classics for the most part. It's really, really amazing.
So we'll have to reconvene and do 90s at some point, assuming the podcast lasts this long. You know, we don't, I'll break up and go form side casts. But yeah, thanks everybody for sharing your 80s comedies. And we're going to rock some recent pickups. Mine will be pretty quick because I am floating a lot of boxes right now. In fact, I think there's one from Luke. I think he sent me a little notification the other day. So, but we'll wait for the next cast for that one. But Peter actually came through in a pinch. I bought some things last weekend that haven't arrived yet. I got a slow boat that's bobbing along the seas, but I grabbed a couple from Peter, and they showed up today, including Iron Maiden, made in England. This was a Peter hand-me-down, because apparently he bought the Japanese one, or bought like a mintier version of this or something, and then decided that he didn't need it anymore. So, he was just getting rid of a bunch of Iron Maiden, so me and Bill were just kind of me-ing for his Iron Maiden scraps. But Made in England's one of my favorites. This and Live After Death are my two favorites, but I love all the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son like stuff. I mean, when it dropped, everybody was all like, "Oh my God, they've got keyboards in it." Even Bruce Dickinson talks about that in this concert. He's like, everyone's like, Iron Maiden can't have keyboards, but there's so much mood in those songs. I mean, just Moonchild and The Evil That Men Do starting off this concert is just badass. So yeah, had to get that. And this is a little minor grail. I was supposed to get this years ago. Peter accidentally bid on it, and we were talking about who was going to get it, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to bid on it, so you can get it." But then he forgot he had put a high bid on it, so he ended up sniping me or something. And then I was just like, "Yeah, keep it." And then he sold it to Hayden from the LDF. So I think Hayden's got the old copy, and then I saw this pop up on the auctions again, and he picked it up, and he's like, "Well, let me think about it, and if I decide not to keep it, I'll let you buy it off me." So I got the elusive dubbed version of Super Space Fortress Macross, which is the Macross movie, Do You Remember Love? Which is, this is the notorious one that's dubbed by a Hong Kong dubbing company. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. Supposedly, some people were saying this was made for educational purposes, so people could learn English. And but apparently there's another movie, Megazone 23, that was done in that fashion, and this is just a straight up English dub, though it is everyone talked about the crappy picture quality, but it's just the same old 80s copy of Macross that I have otherwise, with the subtitles on the screen and everything. Just happens to be with a really, really cheesy English dub. So yeah, it's gorgeous. I've been looking for this forever. This is not easy to come by, so I was glad. And it doesn't normally have an OB or anything. It does have an insert, but I'm too lazy to take that out. I'll take that out some other day. But that was it, just those two. So next cast, I'll have some more. What do you got, Ryan?
I, too, am waiting on the boats and Japan and everything.
Boats and hose.
Yeah, it's been rough. I've got a box that has been packing and now finally at the point of shipping since July 6th. And I was talking to Bill and Seth about this, and it's just been brutal. And so maybe next time Japan will ship. And then Luke's package was going to arrive today, but they sent it to the wrong post office. So I had to stick with U.S. releases. I know it's slumming it with the American discs, but I got a few still.
What will you ever watch without those boxes?
I know. I only have a couple LaserDiscs, so it's going to be really hard to get there.
The struggle is real.
So I picked this up off of Tony on Facebook.
Nice.
The Sleeping Car. Just, it's one that's been on my list. It's got an amazing cover, and that's enough. I don't even know what it's about. I assume trains or something. But the cover was enough for me to go, I need to track that down. So that was a nice surprise, and I picked it up. And then I got this on eBay. I beat Peter to it, I believe.
You sniped Peter.
He thought he had it, and it made it to my house, not his. So really nice condition. Seller did a nice job. I don't know what seller it was, but I was really happy to get that. And poor Peter.
The remake of Pink Candles, right, Vinny? Isn't that Pink Candles redone, but better? No, not Pink Candles, but Pretty Pink Candles. That's
basically
a lot of the same dynamics.
That'd be a mashup.
Oh, you guys wanted me to switch the order? Okay, I picked up this one too. They were both on my radar. I said it. And once we brought it up on the podcast, I could not get them because now there's probably none, or maybe the one guy on LDDB who wants way too much.
These sneaky letterbox versions that you just forgot. I never even knew existed. That's cool.
Yeah, I did some more Jackie Chan purchasing. Yeah. Nice. Wheels on Meals. I'd picked this up, and it took forever to get there. The seller actually messaged me, and it's like, I don't know where it's at. He's like, I shipped it. They don't even show that they've got it. I gave it to a person at the post office. I'll refund you. The eBay sellers have been really good that I've run into. I know we see horror stories, but over and over again, the sellers have been really good. One nice popped up. This is really cool. So it's widescreen, but it's got a see-through, so you can actually see the label inside.
I've got one James Bond disc like that from Hong Kong.
Yeah, so this is a Hong Kong release. I have no idea. It's probably like censored or something, but it's still widescreen, which is also rare for Hong Kong discs. Usually they're pan and scan. And I lied. I did have 2 discs. I just didn't know where I put them from way before. So this wasn't recently, but recent enough. Got the nice Japanese house.
Nice.
And then I've got the second one too. And I don't know what happened. I completely lost them. Not that I have a few discs, but I just couldn't find them. And so I found them, and I'm like, I'm putting these in with my new pickups because they were new-ish enough.
They're new to us.
And now I hit up Broterians R Us on Facebook. Joe Bollier. I actually had to ask him how to pronounce his name because I would not have gotten it. It's Bollier, yeah, with the emphasis on the bowl. Because I looked it up on Google, and there were multiple pronunciations, and I'm like, I don't know. So, but he hit me up with some really nice Broterians. Got a David Bradley thriller, lower level. That's 2 players, 1 building, no rules. I know you're a fan of these, Vinny.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Grayson, she's the best.
Keeping up with the quality. Bailout with David Hasselhoff and Linda Blair.
And Linda Blair. Damn.
Wow.
The going just got tough.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's the second Linda Blair movie shown. That's not Exorcist.
I would not have predicted that.
Another David Bradley movie. Now this one's got a gun on the cover. Blood Warriors.
Ooh. Wow.
Swift, silent, deadly. I think it's talking about the action in that, something else, but
Could be a submarine movie.
Yeah, you don't know. But it's got a gun, so you can't go wrong. And then last but not least from Joe, Fear with Frank Stallone. The Frank Stallone. He's the good one.
Not the Wahlberg Fear. That's a different Fear.
Yes. And a couple other things. I'm going to surprise you guys with a Criterion pickup that I didn't know I was getting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Seth won an auction, and he wanted one of the 3 things. And he's like, just take the other 2. And I'm like, okay. This was one of the other 2. So I'm going to have to watch this now.
That's good stuff.
That's what I saw. You guys were talking about it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll keep it.
Didn't that guy die? The star die recently, or am I making that up? I think recently one of the stars died.
It's possible. We'll have to do a fact check on that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You guys weren't the only ones who got a maiden disc.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Peter actually ended up, he won an auction with multiple discs and upgraded and everything else. And he had 2 with the Obi. I'm like, all right, dibs. And so I got 1 too. So yeah. And then also from Peter, this had been on my list forever, and I just never grabbed a copy because I have like every other version.
I got mine from Bill. Same thing.
Yeah. So I finally got this. I mean, it's got great like design and everything else, and I could talk about this for a while, but I don't need to because everyone knows it. And then a couple sweet grails this week, thanks to Facebook again. Facebook was really good. First and foremost, Kickboxer 5. This is impossible to find.
Costco's nice.
Not COVID, I swear.
And yeah, Tetsuya Watari just died August 10th from Tokyo Drifter. So Luke was correct.
You guys
While
can
Ryan
cut that out.
coughs. Yeah.
Oh.
Chug.
The pollen in Illinois has been brutal.
Good. Put your masks on, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and last but not least,
Nuki.
So I'll probably be watching this later tonight. I showed this to my wife, and I'm like, do you want to watch this? And she looked at the back cover and didn't even read it, and she said, yes. So that's what I'll be watching. All right, so moving along before I start coughing again, I'll pass it off to Luke.
Oh, me.
Do you have any pickups? Keep it safe.
Yeah. All right. So recent Pickups. So, like I said, I was gone for about 5 months, and the only thing you can really do underway, internet's pretty bad, but you can't go on eBay, and so you don't spend any money underway. So you just have all this money, and you're like, it's weird to not spend money. I don't know how that sounds weird, but it's like a human thing. You just kind of want to do it, especially since you're working so hard. So I would just sit on eBay and just buy a bunch of crap. And some of these are things I did buy when I went out, when I came back and I went to Hard Off and I picked up some stuff too. And I have a few here, so I'm gonna go kind of quick. First one is the They Might Be Giants 8-inch.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Personally, I grew up listening to They Might Be Giants, the Pixies, like early on in my life, and there's pretty low representation of good late 80s music, and I think that's the best one. Just some good, like, this is pre-flood stuff, Anna Ang, Don't Let's Start, Put Your Hand Inside the Puppet Head. This good stuff right here.
Nice.
Next one, this is one I found in Hard Off. This is a movie I've never seen, but Heaven's Gate. I've never seen this disc either. Japanese.
Oh yeah, it's widescreen. Shit.
It's supposed to be a terrible movie. It ruined the guy's career. Like he did, Deer Hunter before, and then that's it.
Ruined the studio. Basically, changed the way movies are made. I've never seen it either.
Yeah, you might be seeing it soon, buddy.
Oh no, I gotta go on mute.
So next one. This is a movie I've never heard of, but you find stuff and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. This is a movie called Thieves Like Us, the Robert Altman movie.
Yeah.
And they have this Robert Altman collection. I've also got what's another one?
I swear I've seen The Long Goodbye with that same kind of jacket art.
Yeah. So you just see something like this, like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. Next one, I've been watching the Netflix Michael Jordan, and I was like, I picked this guy up, the Space Jam.
Yes.
Damn.
Watched this recently. It's a garbage movie. Come on, if you watched it as a kid and you thought it was great, and then it's like, no, it's not great. Next one is, I found this recently, The Player. I have a few copies of this guy.
Nice jacket.
Great movie, great cover. Yeah.
Awesome.
Next one. Okay, backstory with this. Before I left in February, I bought a lot on Yahoo Auctions, and it was just a pain in the ass to get to me because of COVID. And they said, like, I left and I wasn't coming back, and then it's like, we can't ship to your house because of COVID. And then, like, how about you come to the post office? Oh, it was because it was too much, like the boxes were too big. Like, oh, we can't ship them because they're too big. Come to the post office. I can't come to the post office because I'm not there, and my wife couldn't come to the post office either. I eventually had them split it up. It was just a whole thing. And I did not buy the lot because of this disc, but this was in the lot, and I thought it was pretty cool. This Laser Blast.
Yeah,
nice.
This movie's garbage too. It's like straight up.
Charles Band.
I tried watching it. I watch garbage movies. I watch, the full spectrum. But if a movie is unwatchable, I move on. Remember, Stephen King said once that he puts books down. He's like, if I'm not getting, there's too many good stuff to watch, to waste your time on bad movies. So, sorry, Ryan.
It's okay.
Next, yeah.
I mean, I didn't finish The Irishman. Like, I paused The Irishman and I forgot it existed. So
still never watched it.
I love me some Laser Blast, for the record, but I'm not ashamed. But
is that right?
I do love Laser Blast, but I probably don't like most of the stuff Ryan owns. So I'm like in between you and Ryan.
Next one is, I found this at a Hard Off, and it's rare to find American discs, and it's like the opposite. Like, when you're an American, you find Japanese discs, and so I just picked this up. It looked pretty good. This Black Sunday.
Nice.
Frankenheimer movie. It's got Bruce Dern in there.
Good thriller.
It does have a Japanese little corner sticker there, which is kind of cool. I just picked it up. Next one. Okay, so these are older pickups, but I thought I would include them too. Like I said, I love the old Peter Jackson movies, so I picked up. I wanted this guy when I came to Japan, the Brain Dead, the Japanese Brain Dead.
Absolutely.
Finally got it from somebody in America off eBay. And not only did I get this one, but I got this one, the Hong Kong Brain Dead.
Nice.
Damn.
Completely uncut. It's a great one. It starts with the shot of the Queen on the horse, whatever. Okay.
Is the Hong Kong letterbox or pan and scan?
I think it's pan and scan.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, I got this guy recently. It's just the American Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
Nice.
This one I included it because there's like an audio dropout on side 2. It's weird. I thought it was my player, and I tried it with another disc, but it's just there's no audio for the first few. Maybe I'm just fucking up. I'm probably fucking up somewhere. But I thought that was interesting. All right. And then the reason I got that lot in Japan was because of this guy, the Frankenhooker.
Yes.
Been wanting this one for a while. No Obi. I know it's unplayable, but I still picked it up.
I love
saw
that
this one
cover.
a lot, and it's like, I need that.
Yeah, great cover.
Almost done. Okay, this one I got from eBay as well. This was a underway pickup, but this is the Hong Kong Lost Highway.
Nice.
Cool.
There's a guy on eBay that just sells, all these Hong Kong discs, and he accepted an offer, and he's really cool. I got it, no problem. I got this, and then I got the Twin Peaks pilot, Hong Kong Twin Peaks.
Nice. Respect.
Been wanting this for a long time. Finally found it.
Is that the full pilot with the ending, or did they cut it for the Hong Kong release?
I think all of them have the ending. Because I think Bill said he had the Hong Kong one too, and I think it's got the same international, extended ending.
I just want to find one without.
I don't think there is one.
I know.
On LD at least.
The American version doesn't have it? Is it
The American one's got the international movie version too, yeah.
I know the Japanese one does.
Yeah.
Another one I picked up. I'm not a big music guy, but I saw this and I picked it up. It's Anthrax.
I'm jealous of that one. If you ever want to sell that, hit me up.
Yeah. I listened to Anthrax back in the day, and it's funny. It's a lot of like home videos and home, them on tour and stuff. And as an adult now, it's like, man, that looks terrible. Like, I don't want to be on tour like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
on a bus with smelly dudes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I just want to go home and take a shower. Last one I picked up. I found this early on when I was in Japan, and I sold it for a lot of money. And I watched it with my wife, and I hated the movie, but then I still I regretted selling it. And then I finally found it. Again, this is the Electric Dream Japanese.
Yes.
Love it.
Love that movie.
I wasn't a fan of the movie. But it's, you have some discs in your collection. I don't know if you guys are the same, where it's just like, I'm not a huge fan of this movie, maybe, but you should have this. Yeah, you should have it in your collection. And that's it. That's my pickups.
Awesome.
Damn, nice stash.
Yeah. Welcome to Japan.
All right, what's Vinny got?
I'm up in my attic, so I don't have anything up here, but you just held up that player, and I realized I had my high 8 Japanese player up here.
Yes.
Amazing movie. Okay. I found a pretty big lot last week. I kept about 25 discs. It was from an older dude who had, really good highbrow taste, so I was able to grab some cool things in there. Night to Remember, which I have not seen, so I'm excited to see it. Gatefold.
Yeah, I need to get that someday.
This is the cool thing about this group. Spencer one day posted that he found this movie for 95 cents that he couldn't believe his luck, and of course no one cared because it's not something anyone would even take a second look at, usually in our group. Mm-hmm. But I remembered that, and I kept it from this lot, and I was reading about it, and it's one of these VHS LaserDisc only releases, never on DVD, never on Blu-ray. The rights are tied up. It was this sort of colossal bomb. It was supposed to be like a Gone with the Wind. It was shot in 65, and MGM Camera 65 they called it, which they just later became Panavision. But Montgomery Clift, during the making of the movie, just wrecked his car after a party in the Hollywood Hills and just totally screwed up his face. So they had to wait 2 months for him to basically recover and get plastic surgery.
Nice.
Come back and shoot, and it didn't look anything like he did. And the guy's famous for his face, really. So I'm curious to see what it looks like. So that's Natalie Wood. So that's pretty cool. Just one of these things you learn about just from the group. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. I picked this up during the Criterion sale, the 5-hour cut.
Yeah.
Cool to have the LaserDisc as well.
Yeah, it's still a nice disc.
In vendors, yeah. And then another thing I wanted to get during the Criterion sale, but they went pretty quick, was the Before trilogy. So I had to settle for the first one.
Nice.
I saw, but I don't remember, and I definitely didn't see the sequel, so I really need to get back into these.
All good. Watch those movies.
Yeah,
great
for
stuff.
sure.
Amazing.
And this I kept just because it's one of the first movies I ever remember seeing in the theater. I must have been 9 or 10. One of these classic 70s disaster movies. This was Meteor with Sean Connery, also Natalie Wood. Just a who's who of actors who look like they're 80, but they're probably like 45.
Yeah.
Widescreen. Oh, look at that. I didn't realize that's the towers in the back there. Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, $200.
Wow.
$200.
Too soon.
That's
Notice
right.
them.
If it's got, that's what
Notice them.
Okay, a couple more. You ever like commit to like buying a lot and then you get there and it's just terrible and you feel bad for the people because they have no idea what they have and I was able to find one for $5 from this guy's lot. I realized I had the DTS counterpart, but I did not have the AC3.
Nice disc.
So I was glad to just like get out of there and make my trip worthwhile and find something in there. So now I have both versions.
Yeah.
Also both versions. This wasn't a lot. I knew the guy selling it on eBay really had no idea what he was doing. So I was just had my fingers crossed that it would come in one piece. Also at AC3 alternate of Jurassic Park, which again didn't know existed, and then it sort of popped up recently, and then I'd had my eye out for it. And I actually did watch and compare the DTS with this, and as suspected, DTS wins.
DTS is also like 10 dB hot in the subs and 3 dB hot in the surround. So
much louder, yeah. So, but it looks great. You know, the picture quality is just as good.
That's actually harder to find than the DTS copy.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I have one.
And then it's funny you mentioned. It's funny you mentioned 3 O'Clock High because this is something I did not know existed. Saw it and had to have it. This is the remastered Rattle and Hum. I saw this opening night in the theater. It is full screen. So I remember now it was shot in 16 millimeter. So they blew it up to projected 185, but it's the source is 4:3. So sounds
like an Evil
great.
Dead. Yeah, kind of thing.
It looks really cool, and it's AC3. And they really were promoting that remastered Dolby AC3 digital surround sound and sort of like, re-experience U2's concert film in this highly charged explosion of sight and sound.
Yeah, it even made the front cover of like Home Theater magazine. I remember it was like,
deal.
Yeah.
The movie, look, it's pretentious as all hell, but the music is still good. That's it for me.
Dude.
What do you got, Maxeene? Thanks.
Well, I actually got lucky and some of my Japan mail arrived.
Sweet.
So I didn't show all of it last time because I had too much. So also some more of it now. Creature.
Nice.
I love this cover.
That's sick.
Oh,
Great cover.
I just love it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
stoked
awesome.
to have that. I like the back too. It's got the Universal Monsters on it.
That Obi is
Water
great.
Part 1.
Yeah, the Obi just kind of adds that extra green pop to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Sits nicely with it.
It was funny because it came with a copy. I literally have 2 of the same film. It came in a lot, and it's 2 of the exact same film, but one had the Obi and one didn't. And like, it definitely adds something. I like it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I am now part of the future box.
Gotta have it.
Nice.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
I have this has been on my list of things for a while, and just like, it does not have, if this does have an LB, I'm sure it does, but
It's got a lower, kind of wraparound. Yep.
Didn't come with it, and it has a little sticker damage, but I'm
sure Luke's got one, like just sitting under his desk.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I do not.
There's one down the street from him though.
Yeah, which I can't go to.
I got a little taste of Rotarian here.
Yes.
Dude.
River of Death.
Sweet jacket. What's going on there?
There's a lot going on.
Apocalypse Now?
I know, right?
Yes,
People are in like suits. It's weird.
Nightmarish day. It's a psychotic Nazi scientist in Amazon jungles.
Dude,
Whoa.
Donald Pleasance, Herbert Lom.
Yeah,
It's like good people in there.
I know this is highbrow right here.
That might be the highest brow Dudikoff.
I'm really excited for this. I have not watched this yet. I'm very excited for this.
I don't think there is a highest brow Dudikoff.
I don't know.
Maybe Rescue Me.
I'm intrigued by that one. Normally, I'm just like, whatever, Dudikoff, but...
Bachelor Party?
Yeah.
Tower Train.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know much about this one, but the cover is...
Man, I haven't seen that in ages.
Yeah. And
It's
there's like a
memory.
dinosaur man or a dinosaur man head on the back. Intriguing, for sure.
No.
I always confuse that with the costume scene in Trading Places. Right?
Yes.
I think it's a party
on
a train and everyone's dressed up. Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis and yep.
Whoa.
This past two are from the like 1,000 disc lot I got a while back too. I'm still been pulling interesting things out of that. And this is, I have no clue. It looks like a 90s
Is it French?
Well, you know
Yes.
what? Is it?
Yes, it is. It's got subs.
Huh.
Oh, interesting.
The brow just shot up a little.
Yeah, that's like automatic highbrow if it's in French, right?
Wow. That's pretty cool.
We need to have a little brow meter on the side of the screen.
Yeah.
We need to get Seth to design that.
Oh my gosh, seriously. That'd be hilarious. Okay. There's the Mac.
Oh,
Nice.
Another one I don't know much about. Just face
Might be a
value
Friday.
looks interesting.
Man.
need to borrow your VHS. I got a copy of the Mac. Remember that?
Having true romance flashbacks. Damn.
BMTV.
Oh, it's a rhino. Nice.
Yeah, so this is kind of, it's got all of these music videos.
All right, who's on here?
Oh, yeah. What you got?
Let's see if I can show that.
Yeah, it's a little blurry.
Okay. Well, we've got Fish Heads, Moldy Oldies, the Beirut Bomb Game, the Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun, which is
Julie Brown.
Yeah.
Yes, I love Julie Brown, but it's a crossover to the Dr. Dementos.
Nice.
The like just mixture of music video one. So
Yeah, Fish Heads is a Demento thing too. So
yeah, I was gonna say. So there's kind of a little, but this I think should be interesting because there is some difference on some of them. So
yeah.
I love weird mixtures of things you can leave on in the background. This one, I love Dick Cavett. I love Dick Cavett, and so I'm just
Vestron, baby.
to have this.
Vestron covers are awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Vestron too. Vestron and Image are for sure hands down my favorite.
From Connecticut.
Oh, but I love Dick Cavett. I'm really excited for this.
He looks really excited.
It's not his interview show. It's just him doing magic.
It's a magic show.
It's magic.
Yeah, but it's hosted by him. It's got Siegfried and Roy on it, which is cool.
Have the lady in the box. I need a lady in a box, and these are the best.
These.
What?
Dragon Ball Z.
I remember watching it as a kid, and I just didn't even think that this would have been on Laserdisc for whatever reason. And then I just found this one and a second one, and I'm just stoked on it. They look so cool.
Nice.
Is that, again, I know nothing about anime, but is that the original Dragon Ball Z? Because I remember people saying before that the original Dragon Ball Z wasn't on Laserdisc. Anybody any insight?
I'm the wrong person. I have no idea. I don't even know which episodes these are.
Yep.
I don't know where the continuity is going to be. I'm looking forward to see if it jogs my memory on anything I've seen before.
This must be late releases.
Last one, I think they might. I don't know. It definitely looked a little newer than some of the other ones that were in that lot. But this is.
Oh.
Nice.
Had to one up that other Dawn of the Dead box.
I didn't mean to.
No, I mean,
yeah.
I can't believe I just this is one of those ones where I just can't believe I own it because it's
Same here.
I've never really
Same
had
here.
it. Never.
It's on the list someday. Yeah.
That's got both the versions on there, the vintage version and the
Yes.
American.
Yes, and it's the inside is so cool. It has the book.
Man.
Just looks so sick. Everything about the set is just like so proper. But yeah, here's the oh, they're like I forgot they're like
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
Man. It's all those must-have box sets. I just kind of take them for granted that they're always going to be there. So, and then I just end up never getting them.
Like Ghost in the Shell?
If I see a good
Yeah, I
one,
still don't have the box. I have the manga one, but I don't have the box.
Yeah, and then there's
Nice.
But yeah, if I see another really killer deal, I'll hip you to it, Sam.
Oh, there we go. There's some Ghost in the Shell box action.
But that's my I mean, I saved the best
so
for
cool.
last. So.
Score. I almost bought it from Moiki once, but it looked like someone sat on it. So
Oh gosh.
I just figured I'd hold out.
Well, I'll pass it to Trevor. What'd you get?
I managed to get a few things between eBay and some Facebook and Rotarian Monthly, but Original Gangsters. I know I showed this last time I was on, but this is another copy because I'm sending the other one to Ryan. So I managed to find another copy with a real good deal. So
I can show it off next one.
Yep. We're just going to keep it going because it's got to be seen.
Yeah, nobody's had The Rock yet this week.
There it is.
Down Periscope.
Best Navy movie ever.
Yes.
There we go.
This, I believe, Harlan Williams plays Luke Cincotta.
Pretty much. And
this is a fun movie.
There.
Nice.
So,
Tattoo on the dick.
and I have no idea anything about this movie, but it's Keith Carradine, Kim Guest, and Harry Dean Stanton called The
nice.
Playoff.
Cool.
Looks like
got a gun.
Rotarian
got
release
multiple
with a
guns.
helicopter.
Yeah.
You know, multiple guns.
And
Harry
explosions.
Dean Stanton. You can't go wrong. It's got to be amazing.
Is Harry Dean Stanton old in that one?
He was always old from birth.
He must be.
We got Peter Weller and Robert Hayes in a movie called 50-50, and look at all those guns.
That's a lot of guns.
Oh, yeah.
There's guns for days in this. So there's
At least
guns on the
50 guns.
back. There's an exploding helicopter on the back. Helicopter and guns equal a good movie.
It's hard to believe someone like greenlit a movie with those two. Like Peter Weller, I can understand, but Robert Hayes was never even. I mean, after Airplane, never close to a movie star.
Have you heard of money laundering?
Right.
UA Bull and
Nice.
Papillon, the widescreen.
Widescreen.
One. I didn't have this one. I had the pan and scan one, but came up in a Facebook sale. I kind of bundled it with some other stuff. Apollo 13 DTS. This is just like an amazing deal. So I picked it up. I was gonna offer it to you guys. I said, "Screw you guys! I'll just buy it. And I'll trade it or sell it to some other sucker."
A wall shaker.
And 12 Monkeys DTS.
Don't have that one. Nice.
Yeah. Holler at your boy.
I will. I'll be PMing you.
Nice. Nice.
And then we're getting into some quality.
Oh, no, lagging.
Wow.
Righting Wrongs.
Oh.
Nice.
Rock.
Cynthia Rock. Yeah.
Nice.
One I've never seen, but
Yeah.
when I saw she was in it, I figured I had to grab it.
Oh, you and Biao? Nice.
Letterbox?
I think that might be dubbed too, like or subbed. I mean,
Yeah.
It's got audio commentary by her. So
I wonder if
Wow.
Tai Seng did that. Nice.
It's
That's
the rare
awesome.
letterbox on the bottom of the jacket. Which is strange.
Yeah. That's cool.
So when you're flipping, you don't see it.
yeah, it's
And,
it's Tai Sang and it's in Cantonese, but
That
with
makes
English
sense.
subs.
They were big on dropping commentaries on there and stuff, so that makes sense.
this one just missed the 80s comedy by a year because it was 1990. and Ski Patrol came out. You know what I mean? And this is what?
And you told me once, it's like any ski movie. I want any snow movie.
Part of Luke's thing is when he's out shopping, anything ski movie, any wrestling, any fighting, I'll buy them. And guns.
And now guns.
Guns too. You got a hot dog cart going off a cliff on skis. You got Mark Paul.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
You got to save the mountain. Anyone where you got to save the mountain.
Got to save the mountain. Yep.
It's a good movie. And then this was August Broterian box release.
Dude.
In the Cube.
Finally some skating.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of this BMX action.
Maybe
Skating.
Later.
I mean, it'd be better if he was on a bike, but you can't make a perfect movie.
Haters gonna
Tony
hate.
Hawk wouldn't be in it.
Yeah, Tony Hawk. Woo!
And all that Pizza Hut product placement.
Yeah, buddy.
Christian Slater with Christian Slater's hair.
It's the best hair he's ever had. It's legend.
What does gleaming the cube even mean? What does that mean?
It's a state of mind
trick.
when you're
Yeah,
skating.
man. It's gleaming the cube, brah.
Gleaming the cube.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
But,
Oh, good.
that was my last pickup for the month. But
Wow.
or
Proper quality.
Jealous of that Ski Patrol. It's impossible to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ski Patrol is a movie that I will bet money it's rarer than The Matrix. It's rarer than Fight Club. Nobody has the thing. You cannot find it.
Yep.
Right now, try to find Ski Patrol. You can't find it. Go on eBay, 5 copies of The Matrix.
Yep.
I'm just going to say right now that there's a Technodisc pressing of Ski Patrol that is the best, and if you have it, you should probably charge like $300 for it.
It is
If
a
you-
$300 disc.
If you don't have it, just lie and say it is a Technodisc and charge $300 for it.
Draw the Twin Towers and Sharpie on the back. And
Notice them.
No, I noticed them. There's a hot dog car.
So I do want to say, like, the best part about being in these groups, and I'm in a few, is just finding movies I've never heard of. Like, I've always loved movies, and it's just, all you guys threw up movies like I've never heard of it, but now I have to dig into it. So it's really great. It's the best part of this stuff. I've always been movies first. Yeah. Movies first, LaserDisc second for me.
Yeah, I'm the same one.
Vinegar Syndrome third, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Vincent, our proud sponsors. So I guess we got to do some recent spins. Speaking of which, I watched a movie about 5 more times for Vinegar Syndrome, and I still can't talk about it. And I drove down and had to deliver some goods to them this past week, and yeah, it was cool getting to talk to them. And their store's opening up again on September 2nd, so I'll be heading there and buying some LaserDiscs and stuff, hopefully wearing a mask and being all safe and all that. But yeah, looking forward to some more Vinegar Syndrome product, and when they announce it, I can finally talk about the LaserDisc that I watched. But
we should get to world premiere the announcement for them.
Actually, yeah, that'd be amazing. I totally forgot to mention. I was like, we always talk about you on my podcast, and
wow.
And then get him to talk shit about Ryan or something on camera, so I could post it in there in post production.
Please.
But, yeah, I'll do that someday. So recent spins, mostly just stuff that was part of our list. I watched Neighbors. This thing, I always thought it was pretty rotted, but come to find out, I was watching it really is only mildly speckled, and I'm putting on my Quasar and adding some noise reduction to it. It doesn't look really rotted at all. I mean, it's a horrible transfer, but still fun. And of course, I had to watch the disc that Peter sent me because I had to make sure he wasn't trying to rip me off or anything, so I had to make sure they played. But yeah, so I watched this today, and it played through fine. And of course, to help me get through the afternoon at work, I had to blast Iron Maiden made in England. So a little bit of doubling down. And this is just for comparison for that review I'm doing for Ryan. I had to watch a special collection of Empire Strikes Back. Obi's not on it because it's fugly. So I took it off and put it somewhere else. But still looks fantastic. You'll have to find out how it stacks up against some of the other releases when I make that video someday. And then I finally wrapped up my apes and rocked Battle. Oh, sorry, I broke the table. Had to finally rock Battle for the Planet of the Apes, and this is the version that had the extra scenes, which is like really cool. It like ties in stuff with Beneath the Planet of the Apes with the Alpha Omega bomb, and there's a lot more like just cool like kind of character moments, and it's definitely the lesser of the 5 original Apes movies, but it's a little bit better in this version. It's also on Blu-ray now, but it's still worth having that. I mean, the transfer sucks, but it's still worth having that box set. And other than that, I just been watching too much ape stuff. I got the DVD, Don't Tell Anybody, of the TV show, so I've been marathoning that. And then I marathon the video game documentary that just dropped on Netflix. So I've been straying from LaserDisc for a little bit, and then just doing Vinegar Syndrome job stuff. But that's about it. What do you got, Ryan? What have you been watching?
All right. So one of them's a pick from you, Sam. You had mentioned it and brought it up on one of our earlier podcasts, but I finally got around to watching American Yakuza, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'd say find it on LaserDisc, but you
Good
probably
luck.
won't. Yeah. Have a watch for about 3 years and you might get lucky. Is all I can say. It's just, it's not an easy find, and there's probably easier ways.
You can come visit us, good. I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Vinny used to come on Saturday nights, and then COVID hit, and he hasn't been out here since. So it's just been a shame. I watched Reform Schoolgirls finally.
Yes.
Shout out to Wendy O.
There we go.
Quality.
Yeah, this is definitely a quality release. This is about as clothed as she was the entire movie.
I believe it.
It was something else. The whole movie. I don't know how it was made or why it was made, but I enjoyed watching it. So
she lived like 10 minutes from my house for the longest time in the 90s. It's crazy.
It. It's amazing.
We never hung out though.
You were too cool in your band, right?
I was like, I can't hang out with you, Wendy.
With the drama, you can't even open for us. I watched Buy and Sell. This one was kind of all over the place, and I read some reviews, and they kind of agreed. And it's got Roddy Piper in it, and it's got this great cast, and I don't know, it doesn't hit the mark, I think. And
is it a prison movie?
Yes. So this guy he's a fall guy for a company for insider trading or whatever, and so he gets sent to prison, and they decide to start investing money from prison and start their own company, and then work their way to like financial like winning, and it just I don't know, it was so ridiculous, and even for a comedy, it just I don't know, but Piper was good, so you can't go wrong with Piper in any movie. He's just he takes over the screen.
Nice.
Is it premium Piper?
Obviously. I watched Full Moon High. This is another one. I enjoyed it, but it just, after a while, I felt like it just kind of kept going. Like, it was cool and funny at spots, but like by the time I got to the second side, I was about, I guess, 20 minutes away. I was like, do I want to finish this? And I finish every movie just about. And so this one was tough. And then the ending let me down anyways. So don't seek this out. Don't seek it out on LaserDisc. Buy it on DVD if you can find it at Dollar Tree.
Nice.
And then I watched this Blood on the Badge, and this was fantastic. And it also had one of the most cringeworthy scenes I've seen in a while. I sent Trevor part of a clip, and the bad guy was trying to be bad, and it was just cringe. But there was some good fighting and, all kinds of dude stuff and guns. So you can't go wrong. Bad. And it's got the good Estevez, Joe. So if you're looking for not
the best
Emilio or Charlie or Martin, yes. So those were the ones I watched, and then I gotta say I enjoyed Alphabet City and wish it was on LaserDisc.
I was gonna say those are mighty small LaserDiscs behind you.
Yeah, those are the Vinegar Syndrome variety.
Mini mid LaserDisc, yeah, I like them.
All right, Luke.
Okay. All right. So it was hard to come back and actually sit down and watch some movies because on the ship you have no distractions. I was in my rack and I just had my my tablet and I would just watch movies. Here it was like every little thing would distract me and it was hard to get through movies, but I did. And here's some for it. The first one, I don't even know. I picked it up and I just was like, I want to watch this movie. It's called Blame It on the Bellboy with Valky on there, and Dudley Moore and the guy from The Commitments.
Jerry
and
Lewis
I'm not
movie?
sure who that is. And this is Harry Potter's uncle on there.
Yeah.
This is just, I mean, it was a decent movie. A lot of I don't even want to go into it. It was, I watched it and it was all right, but it's a classic example of a cover lying to you. Valky was in it for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
such a Japanese.
It was also an example. Oops, sorry.
That's such a Japanese cover thing. You see one momentary thing that only happens for a second, and that's like
bam.
cover.
Yeah, and it was another example of like, I thought, I bet the original script was pretty good, and then it just got destroyed. But whatever, it was a fun little movie to watch. Let's see, I'll talk about that in a second. Oh, one that I watched, One Crazy Summer. Director does Disney stuff now, which kind of makes sense. Like back whenever that came out, it was so weird, but then he found his niche, I think.
My kids were watching something, and I saw his name on the screen. I shot out of my seat.
You're like,
told my son to pause that for a second. Pause. It was like Malibu Rescue or some Disney kids thing. But yeah, he made those two movies, and then How I Got Into College, which was another fantastic movie, and then started making kid stuff. But really inventive filmmaker.
Yeah. Let's see. Next one. I kept doing some Demi Moore stuff for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I got About Last Night. I found this guy. I just kind of wanted to watch it. So I watched the remake one with Kevin Hart. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
No.
But it's really good. And then I was like, let's watch the original. It's really bad. Like, it's not as good at all. It's in the remake. It has two couples, Kevin Hart and whatever, and the other guy and whatever, like two different stories. And this one, it's just like Demi Moore and Rob Lowe and their story. It's good. I mean, it's fun to watch a movie that was about a real relationship and didn't like end at them falling in love. It was like, digging deep into an actual relationship. The fun thing about the disc is Demi Moore is naked a lot, which kind of threw me for a lot. But it's a Japanese disc, so waist down is blurred out. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even Rob Lowe stands up at one point and it's blurred out down there.
That's just how he looks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, weird. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. This one was Ryan sent me this guy. I watched Stoned Age.
Oh yeah.
Which I've seen since I was a kid. You see it in the video store. And it has the very famous quote on the top, better than Dazed and Confused. And it is not. It is really bad. It's watchable, but the weird thing about this movie is that it's supposed to take place in the 70s, but in no way do they mention the 70s or do they even look like they're in the 70s. It's almost like it was an afterthought. The movie came out, Dazed and Confused came out like, let's just say it was in the 70s. Like, let's do it on the cover. I got through it, so that's something, but it wasn't whatever. Last one I saw, wife and I watched this guy, was the Ed Wood.
One of my favorite jackets. That's awesome.
And it's got the great scene where she's accepting his whatever. She's giving him the Angora sweater, like, okay, I accept you.
Yep, with the spot pink. That's awesome.
Yeah. Good movie. I mean, it's a biop of Ed Wood, and so they kind of gloss over a lot of stuff, but it was enjoyable.
I ordered that from CD Japan, like back in the day, with Fight Club, and Fight Club got canceled, and they sent that, and it cost far too much money to ship it. I didn't know Luke back then.
The fun thing about this movie is that it's an adult movie. Like, it's not, most Tim Burton movies are aimed at kids, but this was like his first one. It's like, hey, here's an adult, and it has, Bill Murray in it as a different kind of character that he usually does, and Johnny Depp isn't terrible in it. Sarah Jessica Parker's real good in it. Patricia Arquette. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
Excellent. What about Vinny?
I don't have too much. Like you, I watched a lot of the stuff that I picked up. So I gave Rattle and Hum a spin just to hear an AC3 was great, and Jurassic Park, of course. And I actually watched and finished watching some of the stuff we talked about last time. So I finished Diva, which was pretty cool. It was really second half got really wacky, but it was really neat. And then Crimson Tide, of course, which is now the hottest LaserDisc on the scene. But that DTS was incredible, and the picture quality. I did not expect that it would look that good, because knowing that it's shot mostly in the dark, in a submarine, but really crisp and looked amazing.
I bought it because you told me about that sale, and I bought that DTS sale, and then the guy canceled on me. He said it was cracked.
Wow.
He pulled the old, it's a cracked disc, so I'll give you your money back. So.
Right. Right. And then, now I didn't watch this on LaserDisc, but I had tried years ago when I first joined the group, I had never seen McCabe and Mrs. Miller, and I really wanted to watch it. So I put it on my projector on the LD, and it looked so bad. I mean, not that I could not see any action. It is so dark. It's basically set at night. Everything's shot by candlelight. So
it's like Barry Lyndon.
Yeah, it looks so poor. So I just sort of gave up on it. I might have given it to you. The cover is really cool. And then I just saw it on HBO Max, and I'm like, I better finish watching this. And even in HD, it was so super grainy and so hard to see in scenes. But I was glad I finally watched it, because it's
the snowstorm is like really bizarre looking too, because it's like the snow mixes in with grain, and it looks like it looks
almost
strange.
CG. Like
it does.
No way they're doing fake snow back then, but that was a really cool scene.
Yeah, it was like legitimately snowing for like 2 weeks straight when they shot that.
Yeah.
So
That
absolutely
awesome.
love that film.
Yeah, and then I watched that disc of Hitchcock trailers that I picked up on the last podcast, and that was really cool, just to sort of see the evolution of how they market Hitchcock and as a brand, because it doesn't really start right away. The first one's about Rebecca and Selznick, and then little by little they start to sprinkle in Hitchcock, master of. They didn't use suspense; they use another word, and then eventually, he starts showing up in the trailers, and he becomes a celebrity in his own right. But it's cool to have them all in one disc. Yeah. So that's it for me on the discs.
All right. Good choices.
Yeah. Who do we got? Maxeene.
Yep.
Yes. So I watched a few, trying to decide which were going to go in my top, because this was a struggle to pick some good ones. So Teen Wolf.
Nice.
Almost made it.
Nice.
It was in my backup stack too, just in case, but it didn't quite make it. But that's a great one. And that's kind of hard to come by a little bit, but it's normally not that expensive when it does come up. But this one I had never seen before.
So great.
I freaking love this.
It's awesome.
This is so funny. They're
he
like
gets the girl at the
robbers.
gym, and like she's trying to get him into exercising.
Oh my gosh. And they're at the club, and he walks into this great 80s like clothing store, and there's no people. There's no people working there. It's a television screen, and he's like, "May I help y'all?" And it's Kirk Douglas like standing in there, and he's wearing this whole getup for sure. Yeah. And he's like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Behind you, sir." And like and then he's like, "I need specifics. Where are you going? What do you need? What color?" And like he's like, and then he said, "Can I have something blue?" And he's like, "Blue is cool. You said you need something hot." And he's like, "Okay, red then." He's like, "We don't carry red. We have cherry." Like
yeah, it's good stuff.
The cool guy outfit, but yeah, I mean, this is really good. And I liked it a lot more than I was expecting. Just this cover really doesn't, like, it kind of does it, but the back really what sold it to me. The club scene, it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers playing, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
So it's just like a lot of things where you're just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a guess as to who is older?
Oh, I'm sure it's got to be Kirk Douglas.
Lancaster was 3 years older.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Lancaster's been dead for a while. I mean, Douglas just died, so.
Yeah, he did.
Well, in the movie, they really stressed their ages, and he was supposed to be 72 in the movie, and he was supposed to be.
It's right. So he was 73, and he was probably 70. Yeah.
Well, he was supposed to be 60 something in the film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they sent him to the retirement home.
It's got a good finale.
And they sent Kirk. They sent Kirk to a job at Penguins, the frozen yogurt place. And he throws yogurt on a child because the child wouldn't make up their mind.
Classic.
Oh my gosh, so many good scenes, so many outfits. Oh, that was much better than expected. So I did my homework.
You're master cooker now.
The master cook, of course. Learned how to make fancy lemons.
All right.
And probably gonna make the asparagus recipe from this because I have asparagus in the fridge right now. So
All right.
it's with a very fancy vinaigrette. But that was pretty cool. Like as far as like instructional things go, this has a lot of different audio channels that you could hear different things, whether you wanted like the recipe being said while they're preparing it, or whether you wanted what one of them was saying, because they're both kind of talking at the same time, kind of off each other. But like he's the chef and he's the guy who writes the recipes. So they were there together, and it was very interesting. And there's actually like the sheet inside with all the info you need to know and how to use the disc and everything like that. So this was actually really cool. And
Can you make French dressing and French fries now?
French dressing and French fries.
Excellent.
So I put this on and then I immediately turned this off. Immediately turned this off because it was so weird. I'm like, I'm not in the right mood for this.
We found your limit.
Like this, well, it was like, I put this on in like the afternoon and like, I was like, like I'll watch it. I'll put it on the background. Impossible to put on the background. It was like, this is a straight up like an opera. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. And like, it just, it was, they show like this garden scene and they're kind of trying to like, the like tuning of the instruments and everything. And then they kind of start you in the, with the, I forget the character's name, but it's his face, and his face is kind of taking up the whole screen, and then they kind of fade it out, and then they have the set. That's the first scene of the book. And then it's Max, who's like poking around from behind like a curtain or something, and then he just pops out, and he's like, I'm Max! I'm Max! And I'm just like, no.
You should sample that, though. We should have that play when you appear on the show.
Yeah, right?
Max!
Yeah. It was so ridiculous. I'm like, I can't with this right now. So maybe I'll revisit that. But that was really, that was too much. So I instead watched this instead.
Nice.
And mine was sealed. I opened it. But it is the widescreen. And I used this, dialed in my AC3 a little bit better on my system, and was very happy to watch this again.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice sounding disc.
Yes. Yes. And it looked great.
Yeah.
So those are my spins.
A lot of Danny Elfman stuff this episode. I love it.
Yes. Trevor, what'd you watch?
Oh, well, I was supposed to be on the last show, and then I had to cancel at the last minute.
You were too good for us.
Yep. Ghosted us.
But show me I'm still going to get my shit in, so I happened to watch my top 5 Rotarian. So, which I did actually watch these. So, but I watched Stone Cold again. I know Maxeene brought it up in the last one.
Yeah.
I gave you props on
Rotarian list.
Yeah, we threw a lot of props to you.
Yeah.
This is the perfect movie.
It
has
really
everything you need in it. You got motorcycles. You got Brian Bosworth.
He's
majestic. Naked women. You got
a gun.
Lance Henriksen. There's a gun on the cover. Explosions on the back. You got fight scenes. You got everything you need.
He is so glorious in that film.
And you got to have Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is literally what I finished watching up about a half hour before we started.
Silver stripe version.
Nice.
With the Canon logo.
Yeah.
Canon all day. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Ray Dukes, based on a true story, supposedly.
True story.
Basically debunked everything that Ray Dukes has ever said. Frank Dukes. But
it's okay. Everyone likes to debunk Jean-Claude's history of competitive sport too, so go for it.
Him and Steven Seagal. So, but Bloodsport is a must-watch, and I recommend it to everyone.
Kumite.
And I know Luke's gonna like this one. So, Never Too Young to Die.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I just recently rewatched this. I actually got another one of these on the way, a cleaner copy of it. So Sam said he wants to buy this one from me for top dollar. So, but you got John Stamos.
I thought you said $1. I didn't know it was top dollar. Damn it.
The top dollar.
It's a classic "How Did This Get Made" episode about that. That's the only reason I know about that.
It's one of the best "How Did This Get Made" episodes. It's got Gene Simmons as the good guy or bad guy or cross-dressing bad guy, or it's got Robert Englund. That's what's his name? Not Star-Lord. Anyways, Star something. No, John Stamos' character.
Oh, okay.
Star something.
Yeah. I like the mysterious glow behind them. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Cover's great.
You'll see it when you buy this one from me. So.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Never Too Young to Die. What is that? What does that even mean?
And Luke's gonna like
James
this
Bond
one as
language
well.
right there.
I watched this morning. I did not realize how amazing this was until I watched it again today.
Oh yeah,
dude.
And in the first 5 minutes, you got people flying through windows from a helicopter, a guy getting shot with a grenade launcher, flying out the window on fire, and that's like before you get credits.
Yeah.
It takes place in Detroit, greatest city in the world.
Another How Did This Get Made classic.
Another How Did This Get Made one. And
fuck yeah.
Every henchman, sidekick from an 80s action movie is in this movie. So you also got Vanity in this one too. So she's Broterian quality. So, but if you've not watched this, 100% watch this.
I got it on DVD.
I've been to one taping of Saturday Night Live, and it was the night Carl Weathers hosted, and he was promoting that movie.
Nice.
Yeah, so that must have been 86, right? Something like that.
88.
Yeah, Rodney Robertson was the musical guest, which was cool.
You're part of Broterian history.
Oh yeah, didn't even know it.
There's a scene where he jumps on top of her, he rides on it for like a mile, punches a windshield out with his hand, gets thrown off the front, and then basically gets the guy to play chicken with him and chase after him with the car. And Carl Weathers does a flip over the car, causing the car to crash. Perfect movie. And
Sweet.
They tried to cut his balls off. They did not cut his balls off, just so you know.
Do you think they thought they had a franchise on their hands? Like there would be 7 of them?
I think they thought there was a chance.
Yeah.
But like I said, just on a small, like the beginning, before you even see Action Jackson, one of the other cops is Biff from Back to the Future.
Nice.
What? Oh my god.
And then the greatest LD cover ever.
Yeah, movie's awesome.
Everything about this. You gotta make your way back to Coney Island, fight your way past every other gang.
Hell yeah.
I said, this is amazing. I watched this about a week ago, and that's what kind of like made me think. It's like, no, since I didn't get to watch list my Broterians, I'm just gonna watch them and then list them. But if you've never seen The Warriors, you've got to see The Warriors.
I was a kid. I lived in the Bronx, and I just assumed it was probably because of this movie and the posters that just everyone had a bat. Yeah. And at any moment, some guy was just going to clock me with a bat.
Baseball Furies
just walked around with bats in the 70s.
There's some amazing YouTube videos about the real gangs in the Bronx that inspired that movie, and you can get lost in us. Like, there's a lot of great, like, vintage documentaries about them. And
Vinny was in the roller skating one, weren't you? You were in the roller skating gang? But those are my recently watched. So, send it back to Sam.
Dude, all right. Excellent viewings, everybody. There's no viewer mailbag this time. We burned through the last of the questions, and plus we just kind of half-ass everyone's viewer questions anyway. So I'll maybe throw the net out and see if something really rises to the top there. And otherwise, everyone has to answer their own questions or bother us on the Facebook page or something, or during the live chat. We're here for you. But has there been anything exciting going on? What do we have for like laser drama or anything like that, Ryan? And anything jump to mind? Or
yeah, and I'm just really worried about that sealed Golden Age of Looney Tunes collection.
That's gone missing. Where is it?
I mean, it's not missing. It's just media mail. I don't know. I after I saw the one post, I'm like, all right, it's media mail. It's going to happen. And then now we're getting like daily updates, and it's a little much.
Let's see. Yeah, we lost Remus. He burned out, but then we got him back in another group, so he's still alive.
Sean came back. Sean Lotus is back.
Yeah.
He was
with
like
a vengeance.
Top 5 for a while.
Uncle Remus. I don't know if he's an uncle, but he might be. But yeah, we were talking about him in the last podcast, and he had already flamed out by the time the podcast aired on Sunday night, and then he joined one of the other groups. So thankfully, he's still alive. Yeah. Andy Summers, our buddy, is alive. He started posting.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Breaking news. I don't think I've ever seen this. I just went to look at the top 5. Sam, you are number 1.
How is this possible?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I've never been
Peter
number
1. Peter's not the. Peter's 2. Robert Miller is 3. Matthew Phillips, who I'm not sure I know, and then Luke snuck into the top 5 there.
Yep.
Wow. Dude.
Yeah, I've never seen Sam up there. You had 6 new posts, and that's a record for you in a month.
I did. Well, I did my flip everybody off post, and
that was classic.
Yeah, and then I usually drop the ones promoting this show. So yeah, I guess it's possible. Damn. All right.
I usually bump the ones where you promote this show.
What's that?
I usually bump the ones that who.
Yeah, you should win for bumping. We have a bumping top 10. I'm going to cherish this top 5. I don't think, or this number 1. I don't think I've ever had that before.
I'll send you a screenshot. Put it on your wall.
I'll frame it. Yeah,
frame it with a plaque.
But yeah, there was some good threads and some good nonsense going on the past couple weeks. But yeah, Andy Summers is posting videos again, so he's still with us. So hopefully we'll get him back at some point.
Welcome back, Andy.
Yeah, we've been worried about him, and keeping an eye on the local news just in case something happened, or But thankfully he's still with us. What else? What other laser action's going on?
Believe it or not, movies that were in New York before 9/11 had the Twin Towers in them. I just want to make this public service announcement.
This is a big thing, yeah. Now there's films that are being sold that have the Twin Towers on the cover.
Yeah.
Notice them.
That'll fetch you a premium, because the Time Squad has not come back in time to erase them in the Mandela effect yet. So cherish them.
I can't believe they
didn't
repress them after LaserDisc stopped.
Yeah, they could have repressed them all in 2002. So yeah, now that's the new thing, is you got to start collecting those rare Twin Towers LDs.
I'm just glad that everyone immediately jumped on that and they're like, what about this one? And oh my God, really? What are we supposed to notice?
I asked for King Kong. I haven't seen it yet. Notice that.
I love the guy who said, the price was way too high as well. And he's like, I bought this for 95 cents. Like, what are you talking about?
It was relentless, and it was all 100% justified. Like, sometimes you're like, okay, all right, guys, but this one I was just like, LDF was doing some great work. Like, that was charity work. It was beautiful.
And you got your ass handed to you for suggesting that the Two Jakes wasn't a top shelf LaserDisc.
Yeah, I mean, heaven forbid that the pan and scan Two Jakes isn't one that anyone wants ever. Like, I've sold so many LaserDiscs, and I can't get people to take that one for free. Like, I would have to sneak it in. Like, next time I have a copy laying around, it's going to end up at Trevor's house just because. Like, but I'm sorry
more
that
than $2, and she will get more than $2.
Yeah, she's going to get more than $2. I hope that she gets $3 and then has to package it
Yeah.
Like, and if anybody has not sold LaserDiscs or boxed LaserDiscs, the hardest part is just boxing it and taping it and padding it and putting everything in right. It takes time.
Yeah,
And
my wife said, she's like, I forgot how much I hate the sound of tape. Just like constant taping and taping. It's like she forgot that.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
Live.
But yeah,
Probably
2
only
Jakes.
ship one box every 3 months.
Yeah, you've got to take a breather every once in a while.
Settle down, Slowmar.
Slow. Oh, man. But yeah, and then someone else was jumping in like, oh, I've never seen them go for anything under $10. And so, yeah, of course, you were the only one saying, that's a $2 disc you have right there. Everyone else was like, they're worth more than anything. Yeah, cherish them.
I don't know, like, if she had just showed something that was worth a lot, I'd been like, yeah, that one's probably, $25, $30.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Not all of them are like that. But no, it was 2 Jakes Panic Scan. So if you're holding on to those, now's the time to put them on eBay for $60, $70 and hope that the 12 copies that are under $10 on eBay will sell. I don't know. And there's probably another 15 on LDDB.
Oh, did she have more?
Oh.
What else was there?
Garbage.
Yeah. And like 2 Jakes is one of those movies is like the Broterian crew's not going to like it because it's, pseudo highbrow, but the highbrow crew hates it because it's a sequel to Chinatown and it's nowhere near as good as Chinatown. So absolutely nobody wants it.
I flipped past it like hundreds of times. I'm like, this doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Nothing looks good. So
doesn't appeal to anybody. And it's the pan scan version.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there was no other major flameouts or super wars or anything like that.
No, everybody's pretty settled down.
Yeah,
it was
a
nice.
Pretty good week.
Lots of sales posts, and not just like Luke or anybody, like Tony from I think South Carolina. He scored a collection. Good stuff. Well, he some guy posted and I tagged Tony in it because it was somewhere near him, and he drove 4 hours each way and got them for free almost. Wow. And he scored CEDs with it. And you couldn't. I would have taken the CEDs if he insisted, and then found a McDonald's and dumped them back there on the way back.
Throw them out the car window on the ride home. Yep.
But I mean, he scored some really cool stuff, and so I mean, kudos. I would have done that, but location is everything in this game. So
yeah, Vinny got some good stuff. I bought some discs off of him, so hopefully they'll show up someday. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're all in the mail. But now I'm stuck. I'm at that point of a lot where you just no one's buying these last 75.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what I'll do with those.
That's when you just send them to the hard off.
Yep.
Yeah. Send them the other way.
Your problem now.
You just got to get rid of them. You just donate them. Come on,
Yep.
Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet.
I don't know who would. I mean, I'm literally the only person in the tri-state area basically who cares. So I don't know where I'd even walk in with them. There's nothing in New York anymore.
Send them to Moiki.
Yeah, Moiki. The last time I met Paul Davino in Vermont, I drove up there and I'm just like, you can just have everything I got and that I don't need anymore. And so he's like, yeah, sure. so you need to find Paul or some other.
Yeah. Maybe we'll try now that there's 1,000 new people, we'll try the old mystery box gambit.
Oh yeah.
Maxine, you did that recently, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I did get I got a bite on one. Cool. I got one out and
finally.
Good disc in there, so
it was a good lot.
How much did that cost to ship, though?
Oh, man, that was 64 pounds. Whew. And I wrapped the hell out of that thing with tape because I only had one time in my life where the box melted around discs because we had a wet winter when I shipped it, and the box disintegrated, and the poor person on the other end received solely the label.
Oh,
wow.
God.
I was just I'm like, it says delivered. They're like, it's the label. I'm like, what? But I literally had so many at the time. I'm like, okay, well, what did I send you? And I just looked at my list. I'm like, well, I have all of that again, so I'll just send it a second time. So I sent them another 5 discs.
I think the most you can pay for media mail is $25, right? at a certain point?
No.
I mean,
No?
well, the price has kind of gone up a little bit because it used to be like, you know, two and change for
Right, that's true.
like £2, and now it's like $3.30.
Three something, yeah.
Approximately around that. And then if you add insurance, you know. So I think like it was probably for the 64 pounds, I believe it was around, I want to say 40, 50, somewhere around. It wasn't too terrible, but it was like, it was included, you know, it was discussed. So, but it was insured also, I'm pretty sure. So that adds a little extra when you get up into the larger.
That was cool to see. It's like, oh wow, she did it. She got it.
Yeah. I did put on the website. I put some smaller versions of those as well, like kind of like $5 or $5, or I think there's a different kind of price range versions of the same kind of thing, where if you kind of go up a tier, you might get a little bit cooler of something. But yeah, so mystery lots, you know. I have different things than the average person's commons because I just have a ridiculously large quantity. So it just, you never know.
I've got the build your own mystery box in Illinois. So if you want 1,400 of them.
I'm so
How's
shocked
that going?
no one's taking that.
Are you getting
No one has bit. I've got one guy coming tomorrow just to buy singles because I gave up on trying to sell the whole lot. Kevin wanted them, and I'm like, Kevin, I told you, like, these are like mostly common titles. There's not going to be the $80 horror in there. And so he's like, oh, okay, never mind then. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I mean, it's good stuff. There's Chuck Norris in there. There's some good things, and it just
Two Jakes.
There's probably at least 3 2
10
Jakes.
Nice.
Wow. 6 Jakes.
Any Amazing Panda adventure?
No, the copy that I got was rotted, and then the copy that I got after that was rotted. So there's still no Amazing Panda adventures out there.
That's
so that's becoming the game now, finding a non-rotted Amazing Panda adventure. Maybe we can find like a Hong Kong variant for $80 just to make it happen.
If I find one in California, that tends to be the good luck charm.
All right.
Dry weather out here.
Don't hold your breath.
Keep your eye out.
Excellent. I know what they're doing.
Yeah, so I might resort to Craigslist. I get a lot of like weird random hits on Craigslist, and people show up and be like, oh, this is more than I thought there was. I'm like, said 1,400. I mean, what did you think that was, like 1 cube?
Price is right, so.
Yeah, I mean,
you're selling a massage with free LaserDisc, so it's kind of weird when they show up anyway.
Yeah, I mean, body massage. You do give a great massage, so I mean, it's worth it.
The best.
Oh man, you guys are killing me.
Body massage.
Thankfully, the pollen's supposed to get worse tomorrow, so
Nice.
really looking forward to Illinois. I think I'm just gonna go up to
Illinois.
I don't know, the Arctic Circle.
I should road trip to Bill's at some point. He's got some discs of mine that I need to pick up, so maybe I'll do a Bill trip.
Yeah, he might even come out when you visit.
Maybe. I don't know.
I was down the street from him, and he was busy with work, and I'm like, so you never know.
The last time I just popped my trunk, and he ran out and dropped the box in my trunk, and I just drove off. So
Nice.
that was about it.
Contactless.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I stared longingly into his eyes for a hot second, but that was about it. So what are we going to spend tonight? It's early enough. I might actually be able to watch something. But I don't know. I've got nothing on tap. I already finished all my apes, and I watched a bunch of comedy. So I don't know. It's going to be a mystery. It's going to be a mystery spin.
Wow.
What about you?
I'm watching Nuki. I'm not going to cough through this. I hope.
Nuki.
But Matt had posted it, and he's like, "Is anyone interested in this?" And like, I was, and I can't remember who else was. And both of us, like, whoever got it was going to be like angry at the other person just because it doesn't come up. It's also more rare than The Matrix, and probably more rare than Ski Patrol. No, seriously, like when you talk about rare discs, it's stupid garbage like this that's got like a rating of what, like 2.3 on IMDb or something. That's exactly that really like is super rare. and it's not the Matrix. I mean, I think that what was it, 200 it sold on eBay this time?
Is that what it's going for now? Yeah.
What, 194 or something was the last auction?
Yeah.
It just there we go. Oh yeah.
Maybe it was a gatefold. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 3 of the 6 copies of Nuki in existence.
I would believe that.
Yeah. So I was thrilled to get that, and
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to
Ski Patrol.
Ski Patrol. I'm surprised no one picked Hot Dog for the 80s comedies. It did just get a nice Blu-ray release, so it's obtainable. But so I guess I'll pass it off to Vinny, who's probably going to go to bed.
It's 10:22. Yeah. I've been always trying to get my son to watch these 80s movies I've had on my list for him, like War Games and Beetlejuice.
Nice.
You guys remind me of. And Inner Space. I got like into the credits and they wanted to bail.
Oh.
So, but I have been thinking, he's been mentioning Titanic lately, so maybe we'll dive into the AC3 Titanic.
Damn. All of it? All like 4 hours?
Well, we'll chop it up.
Yeah.
If I could pull him away from Minecraft, he's
back
in the Minecraft rabbit hole.
Well, there's a new update. Or
Dungeons. If he's not playing it, he's watching YouTube channels, watching other people play it. It's nonstop.
Now that's
weird though, because it went away. It was gone. Like they had forgotten about it, and then now it's just back. It's amazing how that happens.
They had a nice big update. We play it at work, and we provide a server for our students because it's still pretty big, even with young adults, and so it's addicting.
Cool.
So you're doing AC3, not DTS? Is that what you said?
I don't have the DTS Titanic.
I don't either, and it's hard to find.
Yeah, I keep looking on eBay, and sometimes you'll spend an hour just looking at
the back cover.
Yeah. What am I doing? This can't be how I should be spending my life.
I've done it. Yep.
At least that's an easy one to spot, as opposed to like a squeeze version or something that's impossible to see.
Yeah. So glad I sold mine.
You sold your DTS?
Yeah, I can't stand that movie. Like, I
was even the hugest fan either, but I just feel like it's a spectacle that he should see if he's.
I was a teenage girl when that came out, so I saw it probably about 10 times in the theaters, including 70mm DTS. So
I just saw it once.
Yeah. No, I was a super fan, so you can all suck it.
Yeah, I'll watch the original.
There you go.
Yeah.
The highbrow version.
Yeah.
Well, I sent you one, Sam, right? Yeah.
No, I don't have Night to Remember.
No, I sent you the other Titanic that I didn't know existed.
Oh, Titanica?
That I did send you, but in the last lot, I thought it was a TV movie, but
you sent it to me, but I haven't received it yet. That's
okay.
Yeah, it was like around the same time, mid-90s.
Yeah, like Peter Gallagher's in it or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have that one.
Yeah, I had never seen it. I thought it was a TV, like a miniseries, but no, it looked like a feature.
That's one of those they sent to the video store while the other was in the movies.
Right.
Back in the day.
Oh yeah, they do that all the time.
Those were great.
Excellent. All right.
Who's up?
I don't know. Well, we lost Luke again. Let's see what Maxene's doing.
All right. Well, here's this week's.
Awesome.
What? There's a sticker on there and everything.
Stocks. Yes. This is. Oh, I don't know if anyone else is seeing me. I'm seeing Sam on my side.
Yeah.
I saw you.
Am I not spotlight?
Yeah, you're spotlighted.
Here you go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. What's the sticker? What's the red, white, and blue sticker?
Okay, so the little sticker says special pricing, $9.99.
Oh,
good value right there.
Yep.
But the joy of stocks, Forbes guide on the stock market. It's a good time right now, guys. Stock market's hot.
Man, you double that up with your, the one you watched a couple weeks ago.
I've done my financial advisoring, and
that's right.
Stock market's on the list. Things to be investing in, so gonna get involved in the stock market.
Get some pioneer stock.
It's a new thing called the stock market. It's new. Everyone's doing it.
Nice. Hopefully that's the surround sound.
Oh well, it's extended play.
Is one of those animals smoking on the cover?
Yeah, the party.
Oh my gosh, he straight up is. He's got smoking? A freaking cigar in there.
Awesome.
Oh my god. He
That
has
is
a
an odd
cigar.
look. It looks
Look
like
at these two. Look at how buff they are, by the way.
Yeah, they're very joyful.
what are they
That is
doing?
the
They're
buffest
dancing.
ball.
Yeah.
And then the bear is very just, oh, hey there.
Yeah, I'm just
Like-
smoking my cigar.
This
Gosh,
LaserDisc
this guy
inspired
looks
The
like
Wolf of Wall Street.
That's
yes,
right.
it is. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, that guy looks serious.
Wow, this is gonna be a good one. All right.
All right.
Trevor, what are you gonna get into?
I'm probably gonna drink some Faygo and watch some Shudder. But as far as spins, I had this out. I think I'm gonna watch Blind Fury again.
Nice.
I've not watched this in 20 years.
Yeah.
I started watching another Rutger Hauer movie this morning, Wanted Dead or Alive.
That's a good one.
And it was slow. I got about halfway through it and put on Bloodsport.
Oh, no.
So I was like, this is the one I actually was going to watch to begin with. I was trying to see if one of them could slip into my Broterian top 10, but it didn't. So I think I'm going to watch Blind Fury again. You can't go wrong with a blind guy with a samurai sword walking around.
Yeah, man. Rucker.
Oh my God.
And we got Luke back. You gonna watch something?
I don't know. I'm at 100% over here. I don't know what this little bar is. Am I breaking up?
You're good right now.
I can hear you.
All right, real quick. So recently I became Rowan Complete.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I'm probably meaning to rewatch this one. This movie is so ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Throwaway plot and just all gore. It's kind of great.
Good soundtrack.
Yeah. And then one my daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, just loves. She loves Batman. She's just constantly wanting to watch. She's like, "Can we watch Batman again?" Like, so it's probably going to be on.
That's a good movie.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
There's a lot worse things kids want to watch.
Yeah.
Like Titanic.
Hey, man, I'm watching you. All right. Well, thanks for sharing all of your amazing discs once again. I think this will wrap up another podcast. And thanks for Luke for hanging out and giving us some insight.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, both with LaserDiscs and defending our country.
And we're gonna miss the LaserDisc part mostly.
Yes. Yeah.
Still got a lot.
Country's going down the tubes, but the LaserDiscs we got to preserve.
Yeah. So like if Japan comes up as an option again in the future, we'll help push you that direction.
Yeah, it's possible.
Or maybe Hong
Chicago.
Hong Kong, no, that's not going to happen.
Excellent. Well, yeah, thanks for hanging out with us and showing some discs. And we crushed it just under right around 2.5 hours. So that's like
that's short.
We're excellent.
We're lean, mean fighting machines. So keep it 80s. So watch some comedies, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks with some more fun stuff. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
See ya.